you wouldn't think that taking a series against the Colorado Rockies would warrant a guttural scream, but oh my God. I think everybody, even Ben Higgins, will sign off on that one, everybody. Holy smokes. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3. The Fan. That was more difficult than I needed to be. I did a lot of yelling and screaming and singing and talking this weekend. So my throat's a little bit cashed, but I figured the tier ones needed it. And frankly, I needed it too. That was a beautiful catharsis to be able to just let that fly this morning. Welcome in. Happy to be here. Always love Mondays. We got so much stuff to talk about and so much good stuff based on, how our favorite baseball team played the last couple days. I found out Friday night, they've just decided it didn't even count. So we won't even talk about Friday and maybe the most embarrassing loss of all time. But we have other things that we can talk about, certainly. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, Paul Luch. And I've got Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Hello, Benjamin.
Good Monday morning, everybody. It sounds like you had quite the weekend, sir.
It was so.
Like, are we able to just sit back
and
let you roll for like 20 minutes? I mean, there's typically each week, there's a lot of, hey, how was your weekend? Hey, well, what'd you guys do this weekend? Knowing what Woods did this weekend, it's tough
Paul, let's just get it out of the way quickly. I played 54 holes of golf in the Goat Club Championship. Didn't play particularly well. Someone drove by me in the cart, though, and shouted loose cannabis as I was playing. That's the highlight of the weekend for me.
Loose cannabis?
I am now done. Paulie, you just quickly wrap up your weekend.
Had a great weekend, getting stuff done around the house, getting ready for our move here in a few weeks, and played some baseball yesterday with my boys.
Yeah, we had a great time yesterday. We lost 4-1. But we played a good game, and it was fun. Paulie got a knock. I got 2 knocks. It was a good day.
It's a real baseball score, 4-1.
4-1's a real. It's a real score. You're like a real team. We didn't make some plays, but we didn't really hit the ball that well. But off the best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the league, Paulie and I both got knocks up. He goes, "Can't wait for you to broadcast that," and I go, "Don't worry, I don't broadcast singles." I just did. I got a single. And it was a lot of fun. It was hotter than fish grease yesterday out in Escondido. I mean, just as toasty as it could get. But it was so much fun. I had such a great weekend. And it started on Friday with the Savannah Bananas. And I'd like to table Savannah Bananas talk until 8.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I know we had a ton of our audience there. They may not be up at 6 this morning ready to talk bananas. I've got some opinions. I've got some stories about Savannah Bananas and what it all, entailed and how it went down.
2 absolutely sold out crowds.
Yeah.
Looked bananas.
Yes.
No pun intended.
It
down
was.
There. But yeah, we can save that because
we'll save bananas for 8 because we're going to hear about your trip to Oasis on Saturday night. I will say I saw so many friends at both the Bananas and or Oasis this weekend. And yet I had no idea that any of them were going.
Right.
And I feel like everybody I know in Southern California went to a Bananas game or the Oasis show.
Or both. We are a very ambitious family.
That was a quite ambitious schedule that you put together for the
Those
Woods
are 2 big events
weekend.
to go to in a month.
Yeah.
You went back to back.
We went back to back on that ass, man. We really did. And it worked out that way. It just worked out that way. But Saturday was the day I was looking forward to the most. Going to see Oasis again and taking my family. Those songs mean so much to me and my kids. We have been playing and singing those songs together since both of my children were around 2 years old. I've got video of both of them singing Live Forever. Both of them separately. They play 23 songs. They probably know 18 of them. Pretty well. And so they just meant a lot to our family. And so we load up the Sprinter van, the Ben bus, and we head up to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena at 1. We left at 1 o'clock sharp on Saturday. Parking opens at 2:30. We drove up. We found a spot in the oversized parking lot with all the other Sprinter vans and limos and everything. So it was cool. We were 100 yards from the Rose Bowl. And it's the first time we've actually ever done a tailgate. Now, I was texting you guys about the tailgate, and Ben's like, "What do you mean? Who are you seeing? what sporting event are you at?
Yeah,
and I said, no.
I immediately thought sports, of course.
I said, we're at a concert. He goes, oh, that's right. Oasis. He goes, people tailgate for concerts? And I go, yes, they tailgate for concerts. I just pictured
you just file on in when you arrive.
I took it a step further. I said concert tailgates, I would argue, are even better than sporting tailgates.
And it's not particularly close. It's way, way better than a sporting event tailgate. Because
no matter what you think, for a sporting tailgate, whether, 15 years ago, Sunday morning, you're down at Qualcomm Stadium in the parking lot grilling, everyone's having fun. There's a little bit of anxiety in the back of your head going, I don't know what the day is going to bring for our favorite team.
We can lose by 60.
Right.
And I've been out here since 6 o'clock in the morning.
That's true.
Grilling up bratwurst. Also,
the smell of carne asada
what is carne asada?
Carne asada in the Qualcomm Stadium parking lot before a football game is legendary.
Right.
Sure.
But you also have Raider fans rolling in and taking a leak on your tailgate. Like you don't have that at a concert, right? Everyone is
it's going to be an amazing night.
Right.
No one's there to cheer for the other band.
There's no other band, there's no other concert. And so we got the tailgate going. And it was very minimal. And I mean, we had some beers, we had some canned margaritas, we had some Cheez-Its, we had some Doritos. It was very minimal. But we had the chairs set up, some shade. Aussie Tony met us. Our buddy Craig and his 16-year-old daughter met us. It was me, my family, and we're just chilling. And it's hot. It's 97 degrees. But my kids didn't care. They wanted to play football in the parking lot, which is standard. So we had this football, this Aussie rules football that Tony had given us, and we're slinging it around the parking lot.
Kind of bulbous.
It's bulbous, but they could sling it. It was fun. Well, all of a sudden, here comes the next van next to us, and they set up their tailgate. Hey, do you guys No, we're all a big happy family here. We have Oasis blasting on the speakers. Then another tailgate. They set up, Ben. They're all huge tier ones, all of them. It was incredible. They're like, oh, my God, Woodsy, Bo, Taylor. It was awesome. So we're all hanging out. Oh, can we have some of that? Yeah, have some of this. And it was just this real cool love fest. Well, then it starts to fill in as far as big, big limo vans. And there's more tents being set up. And now you're in a little village, and there's people everywhere. What I'm about to tell you is the most unhinged tailgate behavior that I, in 50 years, have ever witnessed.
Wow.
That's a bold claim.
I've seen some stuff at tailgates. I've seen some stuff.
Got a Notre Dame game.
Yeah, buddy.
College football, obviously.
Tons. Never seen anything like this. My buddy Craig takes my kids out into kind of the middle area. And again, surrounded by tables of food, drinks, trays of Jell-O shots, everywhere, people everywhere, expensive vans and cars.
It's Los Angeles.
Craig thinks it's going to be the funniest thing in the world to take the football, step back, and punt it as high as he can.
Wherever it may
land,
oh my God,
it will land. He did it the first time. He kicked it so high, he fell backwards onto the concrete. He got all of his leg into it. And it goes 60 yards in the air. And you're standing there. You then assess, oh, God. And you know football, how it bounces, no one knows. And I'm looking, and I'm like, oh, my God. So it hits, jams over, almost knocks this guy's tailgate, over. I go, ha, Craig, no. My kids were on the ground laughing. They thought it was the funniest thing that you've ever seen in your life. So I go, okay, well, that was funny one time. He didn't stop.
No.
He kept punting this foot. I'm like, Craig, no. Boom! Up in the air.
Asking for disaster.
Oh, man.
The only thing I can liken
it's
it
just
to,
Mike Cypher saying
yes,
all over the tailgate.
Ray Guy would have been so proud of him. He was blasting 50, 60 yards in the air, and my kids are doing it. They're like, no one can catch it, and it's coming down, and it is rolling and shooting towards other people's tailgates. I'm sitting in my chair, Ben. The only thing I can liken it to, it was like watching someone play Russian roulette. I was just sitting, it was like I was tied to my chair.
You're just like,
and I'm like, no, please don't. And he looks at me and laughs. He's had a few beers at this point. He looks at me and laughs.
We could be hitting a windshield. We could be knocking over a barbecue.
A whole thing of food,
drinks, alcohol, anything could go.
You could hurt somebody.
A child.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
He must have done it 5 times. And it was like watching a guy go, hey, watch this. Click. And every time he pulled the trigger, I was like, no. My kids were laughing so hard. He goes, I just wanted to make the kids laugh. I was like, maybe you tickle them. Maybe you tickle them, tell them some jokes. So I was a wreck. I mean, it was a wreck watching it. And I go, dude.
About how many times?
5.
5 times.
Yes. And you could see like the people were like, hey, whoa, balls were flying over. It was the most riddling experience of my life. So finally,
you're already in enemy territory.
Yeah,
you're in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
it's not Dodger Stadium, but it's fairly close. I mean, there's going to be some elements there that you'd be worried about.
Oh yeah, the security guard walked up. He goes, first thing you need to do, the van's okay. You need to get that SD sticker off. You need to put an LA sticker. I go, beat it. Nice game last night, by the way. Sick no-hitter that you almost had. We'll get to that later in the show. But then we get inside, man. We get inside the venue finally, and it was crazy. We had GA, general admission. What I didn't realize that we had general admission, but we had general admission floor in the front. I had no idea that was coming.
Say sweet flex.
I had no idea. I literally thought we'd just be in the back of the floor, just kind of on the outskirts. Nope.
Did you not look at your tickets?
I didn't buy them. Hannah bought them. Hannah bought the tickets. So she got GA, and they're expensive, but she bought them a long time ago. And there was GA, and they're like, this is one part of GA. You guys are in the front row of GA. So we were right up front. The pictures I posted,
incredible,
were on the floor right there. And so I'm bursting at this point. And my kids are like, oh my God. Bo's like, dude, we're so close. I go, yeah. So we set up a little home base kind of off by a rail where we can lean against and hang out. And then my kids made what is such a cardinal mistake. Now they're rookies, they're rookies, they're little. And I told them, I go, hey, this is going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. Don't burn yourselves out. First band comes on at 7:30. They're Cage the Elephant. One of the greatest live bands going on this planet, in this country, ever. They're so good live. Don't miss Cage the Elephant ever if you get the chance.
Is that who opened when you went in Manchester?
No, I had Richard Ashcroft from the Verve, which was beautiful and great. But Cage comes out, tons of energy. My kids start running 360 circles, and they didn't stop. The whole hour set, just boom, boom, running. They're red, they're sweaty, and I'm like, hey, it's gonna be a long night. You guys love these songs. You're gonna make sure that we're ready to go. They burned themselves out during the opener so hard. So I told them, I said, hey, listen, your old man has done that before many times. You get one too many during the opener, and you're like, oh, like, yeah, get Woods to the car. Came here to see Metallica, and he's back in the car. You know what I mean? It's happened many times, but so they totally burned themselves out. Then Oasis comes out, and
there's no way you're leaving early.
Well, we did leave early.
No, I mean like before.
Oh, no. I would have literally just sent them to like security. Says, can you watch them till we're done? We weren't missing it. So they come out, and it's magic. There were 90,000 people there. And so we had our little home base back in the back where we could, and Hannah would be sitting. She was like Mama Bear right there with all our stuff. And she didn't want to go up front. So she said, I'll go, Taylor, do you want to go up front? He'd go, yeah. So I'd run him up. We'd watch a song, and then I'd run him back. And then I'd take Bo up front, and I'm holding him. And it was so cool and so magical. So Bo and I are walking back at one point, and there's a lot of space. There's a lot of empty space kind of on the sides. Everyone's pinched in the middle. And I'm walking by, and I go, that guy looks familiar. Got a handlebar mustache, got a Smith & Wesson t-shirt on, looks like a real badass. And in my mind, I go, that is James Hetfield, lead singer of Metallica. And I said, but there's no way he would be here by himself down here. So I didn't think twice about it. So I walked past him. There was no one around him. I could have had a 15-minute conversation. Turns out it was him. There's pictures popped up later of him with the Gallagher sons taking pictures backstage. Billie Eilish was in the crowd. Vince Vaughn was in the crowd. Leo DiCaprio was in the crowd. Paul McCartney was there in a suite. It was the who's who of that. Taylor and Bo Woods were there. So, I mean, it was just celebs everywhere as far as the eye could see. And then they came out and they absolutely rocked it. I mean, they were just incredible. Now, we did end up leaving early. Like a true Oasis fan, we left before Wonderwall. So you can never call us fake fans. But we kind of saw what we needed to. And then we wanted to get home because we still had a 2-hour drive.
Right.
After that. And it was 11.
2 hour, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Cross your fingers, it's only a 2-hour drive.
So, dude, we get
so
on.
what time about is this at night?
I think we left at about 11.
11, okay.
And we go and we get out to the bus. And Hannah goes, oh, no. Someone's blocked us in.
Oh.
Somebody had parked behind our bus. And there was somebody in front of our bus. And I go, oh, my God, we're screwed. Like, we're going to sit here. And then I hear they beep, beep on this Land Rover that's parked behind us. And I go, all right, they're in the area. So I'm running down the parking lot going, Black Land Rover, hello, hello. I go, we're dead. We're going to be locked in here. There's nowhere we can go. We're stuck.
So they just
parked.
Put
they
it
had
there.
just parked. The encore's going on. I'm like, why?
They're
You're
arriving,
way late.
They're arriving for the last 3 songs.
Like, I know it's LA, but like most people come to see a little bit of the first set. Then I hear this lady, what? Somebody calling me? I'm like, you parked behind us. Like, you blocked us in. She goes, oh, they told me to park here. And I'm like, I don't care. Move your car so we can get out.
I'm telling you to move.
Yeah, so she moves. We get out on the road, and we're on the highway, and we put Waze up, hour and 24 minutes.
Oh.
Piece of cake, right? So we're on the highway, and we're waiting to get on the 5. All of a sudden, it comes to a dead stop. I'm in the far left lane in a giant bus. Hannah looks at her phone. She goes, oh, my God, there's an accident up ahead. They're not letting anyone through. She said it was a 10
total shutdown.
10-car pileup.
Oh, my goodness.
And I go, oh.
And you're on the far left.
I'm on the far left lane in the bus. And I think it was exit 71 was off to my right, and it was about 50 yards. She goes, do you think you should try to get over?
I mean,
I go, I'm in a van. I go,
asking a lot.
I'm in this big bus. She goes, I don't think there's any choice. I go, okay. So I start to inch and creep and inch and creep, and I make it through one. I'm like, oh my God, okay. And then I start to inch and creep and inch and creep and inch and creep and inch and creep. I make it. I get off the exit. It took me about 20 minutes, man, to go. If I was 5 lanes of traffic, I get through. And I get off.
Sorry.
Yeah, dude, literally, I'm sorry. Hannah was my
sorry.
Hannah was my waiver. She was out the right side. So sorry. We have little kids.
If it was that stopped, you almost should have just had her get out
and stop
and just
people.
start.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So we made it off the exit. I went up 2 exits. I hit a left on Pecan. There's the 101 South. I jump on the 101 South, then the 5 South. I saved us 2 hours. I mean, it was Hannah's idea, fully her idea, my execution.
Kids are probably asleep.
Kids were literally in PJs in the back. Like, and I'm just, and we zipped home. Now, the funny thing is, Benny, we left at 1 sharp. We pulled into our neighborhood at 1 in the morning. That's a 12-hour jaunt. Then I thought about Manchester. I go, we got on the train to go out to Heaton Park in Manchester at 11:30. I walked in my hotel room at 11:30.
Wow.
12-hour jaunt. I go, I love this band more than anything. I need to see them, though, at some point where it doesn't take me 12 hours to get to and see this band.
So you literally spent 1 full day of 2025
seeing Oasis.
To
2 shows. 24 hours to see 2 concerts. It was so beautiful. I was very emotional holding my child. Like I'll start crying if I think about it. I'm holding him. I look up and he's got his little hands up to the stage, and I'm like, that's it. These are our songs, since you were babies. And I'm like sobbing. And the guy's like coming up, hey man, that's cool, dude. That's awesome, man. I'm glad you thank you. I'm just pouring, tears are pouring down my face. It was amazing. It was amazing. I'm so glad we did it. But holy cow, man, between the Russian roulette at the tailgate and then the traffic home was just so insane. But we did it. We made it, and we got up yesterday, both early as practice at 8 a.m. And I had a game. I mean, we're pretty cashed.
You look no worse for wear.
I feel pretty good. I'm dumb enough too. I almost thought last night after I got home from baseball just go up and go see him again tonight. And I was going to drive straight in, and do the show. But I was like, I don't have that in me anymore.
You're not Aussie Tony.
I'm not Aussie Tony. He went and saw him again last night, man. And it was so special to be able to be with him and Craig too.
You might go to Mexico City.
I'm not going to Mexico City.
Well, I was going to say, what's next? You guys going to like Oktoberfest in Germany in a couple of weeks?
So the funny thing is, Paulie, is the rumor, this tour has gone so well for them that the rumor is next summer will be a European tour. And I said, all right, I'd like to maybe bring Hannah on this one without the kids and go Barcelona or Paris, somewhere, and see them over there, which is, definitely in the cards. So, but they've crushed it. They've crushed it. And I kept looking around. It's LA. And this is not a shot at LA. This is just how it is in LA. Everyone was worried about the LA shows, that nobody would have the energy. No one would bring it. Everyone brought it. 90,000 people brought it. Everyone smiling, jumping, happy, crying. Like, it was so special.
Yeah, you figure you went in Manchester.
You knew that was going to be insane.
You probably were expecting quite a different atmosphere in Los Angeles, but it sounds like
they delivered, man.
Pretty great.
They delivered. There were videos coming out of Sir Paul McCartney in his suite with all his suite people. They're all sitting on their phones, drinking beers. He's standing up, filming the band. And I just go, man, how special and cool is that? They brought it, man. They brought it. They rocked it. They sounded so good. They were so funny and loose. It was such a core memory for me and my children that I'll never forget it. And it just was unbelievable. I'm so glad we did it. Thank you to my wife, certainly. But I highly recommend, if you have the opportunity to go see this band, they sprinkle some sort of magic dust in the air. And these songs bring you back to a time in your life where maybe you even didn't like them when you were young. And they'll rip your face off. They just melted your face off. They were just perfect. So it was awesome. It was a phenomenal weekend. And we'll talk about the Bananas at 8. And I want to get some other people's opinions on the Bananas, because we did do that on Friday. I heard the Bananas game Saturday, though, was the most electric, elite thing to be a part of. Of course, talking about Trevor Hoffman coming into Hell's Bells. We'll talk about that as well. But
it looked unbelievable.
It was awesome, dude. It was awesome. It was so much fun.
All right, of course, we'll have plenty of Padres baseball to talk about. Why don't we just take a break, and then we'll set the menu on the other side when we come back and get you ready for all the other highlights, obviously, of the Padres. Pretty smooth victory yesterday over the Colorado Rockies, a series win, and we'll update you on the standings with 3 weeks remaining in the Major League Baseball season, and everything is still in play for your San Diego Padres. We'll get to all that after Kelly's Traffic on a Monday morning. Glad to have everybody with us. Tier 1's on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, Woods and I are going to tell you about Trust and Will. That's a good reminder from Paulie. Of course, you always want to be prepared. I was not prepared right there, but now I am prepared if something should happen to me. And hopefully it's a very long time before that happens, Woods, but you just don't know. You don't know what the future holds. And if you pass away without putting your wishes down in writing, in a will or a trust, you are going to leave your family in a very tough spot.
Yeah, it's the last thing that any of us want to do, and put it off. My kids were born, my oldest was born 7 years ago, almost 8. And I can't believe I didn't do it, the next week to go get something set up, but I didn't. Life gets in the way. It gets difficult. You really don't know how to do. It's not one of those things you know how to do. They make it so easy. Go to trustandwill.com. When you check out, use the code radio20, and they'll give you 20% off. They keep it easy for you.
Yeah, if you have like a house, if you have 401ks, different assets, and you want your family to be able to access those, you must set up a trust, because otherwise you'll be in for probate court. Your family will be. It's a long, expensive process. They may not be able to access those funds for months and months and months when they need them the most. But if you have a trust, you could probably avoid probate court entirely. Your family will have access immediately. Again, very easy to do. You don't have to go to a lawyer's office. Just go through the online process. Took us 20 to 30 minutes. Your mileage may vary, but really very simple to get done. And use code radio20 at checkout to get 20% off at trustandwill.com.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
We've got a lot to get to. Have not set the menu yet, so welcome in. If you're just joining us, you missed Woods regaling us with tales of Oasis at the Rose Bowl.
And traffic, oh.
And we still haven't heard about his night at the Savannah Bananas game on Friday, so we'll get to that coming up at 8 o'clock when we reset everything. We're just moments away, though, from a Padres Wrap-Up. We didn't get one of them all last week.
Not one.
It was
That
all
was excruciating,
crap-ups.
man.
It was all lost talk, so it's good to have a couple of wins to talk about this morning, even if it is against the Colorado Rockies.
That does not – it has been proven in this last few weeks. It doesn't matter who you play. It doesn't matter where – it does matter where you play. To get a win in Coors Field, to get 2 wins in Coors Field is like getting 4 wins. That's Woods math for you. That's how it felt, because as you saw on Saturday night's game, Benny, there's no lead that's safe. There's just no lead that's safe. We said in the dugout yesterday, I don't even want to criticize what happened on Saturday, blowing a pretty sizable lead. I don't want to criticize that at all. You found a way to win a game in Coors Field. That should be applauded. It really should, because that place sucks.
The Rockies are really, really bad, though.
I was looking at their lineup. I texted you guys their lineup Friday. I go, it looks fine. It looks like ours. Guys, 23 bombs, 24. I'm like, there's not a lot of difference numbers-wise. There's not. Now, they don't have the star power we do, but the numbers are damn near similar. I texted you guys that lineup. I go, am I crazy, or does this look like a pretty decent lineup, at least by the numbers, by the OPS, by the home run totals?
Well, now their numbers are inflated because of where they play, but yeah,
but where were they playing?
Moniak's had a good season.
Yeah, where were they playing?
Obviously, Hunter Goodman is very dangerous.
I'm telling you, I know they've only won.
Like he took all the Charlie Blackmon magic.
He's great.
Just they handed it to him, and he'll now be the Padre tormentor going forward.
I think he's going to torment a lot of teams. Yeah. He's a really good player, and he has a really good swing and knows the zone and is a good hitter. And so, guys, 2 games against the Rockies. I mean, we needed it so desperately. So I am not disappointed. Like, I will celebrate today like it's a playoff game.
Of course, we'll talk about yesterday's interesting lineup / positional changes in Mike Schultz's lineup on the heels of our conversation with the skipper on Friday morning here in our manager's report, with Jake Cronenworth getting the start for the first time at shortstop since 2022 and making an unbelievable defensive play.
Brilliant.
I mean, what an incredible play that Jake made as they tried to put out the best lineup they possibly could in the series finale against the Rockies, and it paid off with an 8-1 win. We'll get to the highlights momentarily. It is also Monday. That means it's a Padres Hot Tub Craig Elsten Monday. Craig will join us at 7:35, and we'll have Dennis Lynn, our Linsider. He was off last week since we were off on Monday, but he is back from The Athletic. Will join us at 8:35 this morning. We may have time to get to some of the football. I feel like we need to talk a little bit about it.
Sure.
Some of it has to be saved for tomorrow because we got so much baseball. That's possible, but what an unbelievable game last night. If you were watching it, maybe the NFL game of the season has already been played between the Bills and the Ravens. It was incredible. Paulie and I were following that one very closely as the Bills come back with 16
one of the best
points
football games I've ever
in the
seen.
last 4 minutes. It was nuts last night.
I almost turned it off.
I went to bed at 7. Just so you guys know, I went to bed at 7.
I was laying in bed watching it, and when they were up 15 with under 4 minutes to go, I almost just flipped it off and called it a night. And then Buffalo started moving, and I'm like, all right.
The talking heads were pretty much going, well, Baltimore's won the Super Bowl. It's over. I mean, they were 3 quarters into the season, and they were going, if they can go into Buffalo and do this, and they looked unbelievably good with Lamar Jackson. It's like, this season may be over already. And they ended up losing this game against the Buffalo Bills. It was nuts. Aztecs, just terrible loss. I don't know how much we need to get into that against Washington State. Started good for about 3 minutes, and then after that, it was awful. So we'll focus mostly on baseball. We've got our guests. We got our regular features. Don't do this. Reindl Report at the end of the program. But I want to keep everybody abreast because at 8:20 this morning, first Take on Woods of the week.
Oh, man.
And we have a new prize. And it's worth mentioning right now because it is notable. We've had some great Vegas getaways for Take on Woods in the past. But for the rest of this month,
wow,
you're qualifying for our grand prize. It is a trip to see the Eagles at the Sphere in Las Vegas. 2 tickets to the show. It was just that great on January 30th.
Wow.
A 2-night stay at the Venetian.
Very sexy.
And it's a Vibey VIP package and a $100 gas card. This is the one you did.
I did this for you too.
When you went. For you too.
I signed up through Vibey, and it was unbelievably great for you too. We also very ambitious, took our kids to the Eagles at the Sphere. Beyond incredible. Banger, 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 banger. The whole show is like banger, banger, banger. Finally, they played one turd so I could go pee or something. I was like, please. It was just hit after hit. It was unreal.
So this is the first chance. We will have the rest of the month of Take on Woods here in September with your chance to qualify for the Eagles at the Sphere. We'll do, Real or Fake on Thursdays if you don't have musical trivia knowledge, but it's on this month.
If you're still going through life and you're listening and you haven't been to the Sphere yet, do what you have to do to get to one show. And I don't care who it is. I'm not a big Grateful Dead fan, but from what I've heard, their shows at the Sphere are unbelievably great. And it's an experience that you will never, it's hard to top. It's just hard to top.
How much would you pay for Oasis at the Sphere?
I would slit your throat this morning if they said that was a requirement. It would be incredible. A residency there. Man, I was like, I can hear money flying out. I mean, God, babe, I'll drive. I'll sleep in the car. Like whatever it takes, I would do.
Excuse me, sir. You want the loan for what? I'd like to go see
Oasis at the Sphere. And I want to stay in the Venetian again. It was amazing. Lisa says you feel like it would give you motion sickness. It won't. I mean, it depends on what you take, but
they just put out videos. They were showing the Wizard of Oz in there.
They had actual debris.
I couldn't do
from
it.
the tornado.
I don't think
they
I
had wind, real wind and debris flying around.
Yeah,
it was
like
it wasn't real debris.
Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids show they had at Disneyland back
in
the day.
Same idea. It looked horrifying, actually. The tornado scene.
It's so cool. It's just so cool. So what a great prize. I mean, look. Like I kind of want. I don't want to beat you guys. I want somebody. Somebody will win it.
Someone's going to win it.
But
someone is going to win it. But we will also be giving away later on today, and be listening because you probably need to hear some sort of knowledge from the show for your chance to win later. Padres tickets for Wednesday's game against the Reds. It is the Dylan Cease no-hitter bobblehead game for the first 40,000 fans in attendance. So we'll be giving that away as well. So a very big program. It starts, though, with our Padres Wrap-Up. All the highlights from yesterday's 8-1 win over the Colorado Rockies coming up right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Islands Restaurants. Trouble in the North County. Crash blocking lanes eastbound 78 near Civic Center. Also southbound 5 before Delmar Heights Road. Crash over the right shoulder. Then just up ahead, south 5 right before the 805 split. Accident involving several vehicles, including a big rig. That's all over to the right shoulder. Islands Restaurants, summer refreshment, paradise ambience, and the best burgers in town, like the Big Wave with cheese and fresh cut fries. $10 now for a limited time only. Visit one of our Islands restaurants throughout Southern California today. Dine in only. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You know what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
Oh, yes.
It's the
Padres Wrap-Up.
brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort, the Players Place.
I want to go fast, but I want to go slow, and I want to go deep.
3-2 pitch. Arise does not run. Manny sends it in the air to deep left center field. Moniak's at the wall. Looking up. It's going to go. 2-run homer, Manny Machado. His 23rd of the year. And 3 batters into this game. The Padres take a 2-0 lead. Sends this one in the air deep to left field. Beck is back again. Turns to watch. And gone. A home run. Jackson put it just over the left field wall. An opposite field shot, his 10th of the year. And the Padres have added to their lead. It's 3-0 here in the second. This pitch, Tovar lines it into left center field. That'll get down in a base hit. That'll give the Rockies their first run of the day. Arcia rounding third on his way home. An RBI single for Tovar. And the Padre lead is now 3-1. Now to take care of business here in the final 3 weeks of the regular season. Sheets in the air, deep to right field. Fernandez can only watch this one. Second deck for Gavin Sheets, his 19th of the season. And the Padres get that run back. It's 4-1. 5-1 San Diego in the fourth. Here's the payoff pitch. Manny takes outside ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued by Peralta. This one with the bases loaded. Vernin will come in to score. And the Padre lead is 6-1. 1-2 the pitch. Bernabel swings and misses. Strike 3. Another sweeper and another K as C strikes out the side here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 3-2. Laureano hits one in the air to deep left field. Beck is back. He will watch. It's going to go. 4th of the day for the Padres as Laureano hits his 23rd of the year. And the Padre lead is now 7-1. He is leaning and running. And the pitch way outside goes to the backstop. Here comes Merrill from third, and the Padres get another on a walk-wild pitch combination, and the score is now 8-1. 2-2 to Fernandez. Marinaccio delivers, and a ground ball sharply right to Arise behind first base. He'll bring it himself in plenty of time, and the ball game is over. Padres come to Denver, take 2 out of 3 as the bats came alive big time on Saturday and Sunday, and 3 strong starts out of this Padre rotation.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 days have been good, clean, crisp, well-played baseball games. Putting it together, all sides, all facets, taking the series, getting back to doing that because that's what this is going to be about, winning series. Dylan set the tone as we expect. Did a really nice job.
Yeah, he did. He did. Credit where credit is due in a really tough place to pitch. Getting his first road win of the season, guys. And again, let's not forget to belabor the point once again that had you told us this was the kind of year Dylan Cease was going to have in a walk year, I would not think we'd be a game out of first place in the West. I really wouldn't. And, it credit to the guys for what they've been able to do and patch it together. But Dylan Cease, you had to have it yesterday, man. You had to win that series and stepped up with 5 really strong innings.
What was so intriguing about yesterday's game, and I understand you have to take any offense at Coors Field with a bit of a grain of salt,
Sure.
But the players that you needed to see get going for the San Diego Padres, and there's 3 of them in particular. If you want the Padres to go anywhere this October, the 3 are Manny Machado, Jackson Merrill, and Dylan Cease. That you need some help from them, and you haven't been getting a ton lately, and they all contributed in a big way yesterday. Manny, of course, with a 2-run home run in the first inning, 2 for 4, 3 runs batted in. Jackson, his first really Jackson-looking game in weeks, if not months. His 10th home run, triple away from the cycle, 3 for 5, 2 runs scored, RBI. And then, of course, as you mentioned, Dylan Cease going, 5 solid at Coors is great. 4 hits, 1 earned run. I think he walked that batter. I think he was coming out no matter what because the lefty was coming up, and they had Morejon ready. They needed to get Morejon a couple of innings just because they haven't used him much lately. So I think that was probably always the plan. A really nice effort from Dylan Cease, who for some reason actually pitches pretty well at Coors Field. It's, you're never going to throw him in a playoff game at Coors Field, but hey, if that gets him going, then that was an absolutely critical win for the San Diego Padres.
Well, and again, I think the story of yesterday was I'm going to give Mike Schultz a lot of credit, the lack of stubbornness to make a move and put Jake Cronenworth at shortstop, sacrificing a little bit of defense.
Or not,
actually. Yeah. Well, in his mind, certainly, it definitely is in his mind. I think when he penciled Croney in there, he's like, well, let's hope this goes well. And it did. He played spectacularly at shortstop yesterday, making one of the better plays that you'll see, throwing across his body from a knee, diving to the backhand. Really incredible play. You look at the lineup, though, and you go, God bless. Jackson Merrill's in the 7. Jackson Merrill in the 7, Jake Cronenworth in the 8, and Freddie Fermin in the 9. Had a good series. Freddie did. How about Luis Arise picking up 2 walks, Benny, from the 2-hole? Now, that's something I think we can all get behind.
His at-bats have been, I think,
much better
lately.
Much better. Much, much, much better.
But with the flexibility of putting Jake in at shortstop.
Yes.
They ended up getting 9 hits out of the bottom 4 spots in their order.
Incredible.
2 for Sheets, 3 for Merrill, 2 for Croney, 2 for Fermin. And when you have Mason McCoy or Jose Iglesias in against a righty, you're pretty much writing in an 0 for, or maybe a 1 for if you're lucky. But mostly you're writing in an 0 for somewhere, either in the 8 or 9 slot in the lineup. But by putting Croney in there, you have the ability to string together at bats, as the Padres have done so well since the trade deadline when they were playing well. Having the production at the bottom of the order they didn't have earlier in the season. They were able to do that by putting Jake at shortstop in the game yesterday.
Yeah, really, really smart. Now, Bavaquafina, which is a great name. I'm going to give get a lot of credit for Bavaquafina. Bavacqua says, don't fall for it. Remember what you knew was true after Friday's game. This team is going nowhere. They'll probably make the playoffs, but the lineup is not good enough. See, I think again, it is Colorado. You do have to take that with a grain of salt. Let's see how they do against some tougher pitching, I think, against the Cincinnati Reds this week, Ben. But I will say that that version of the lineup yesterday is about the longest and deepest that you can get with the San Diego Padres. I think those are the right guys to have in, and they found a way to get it done. So I give them a lot of credit. I think, my question to Mike Schilt on Friday about, what would it take to get Jackson Merrill back at short was mostly, like a hypothetical. Like, I was genuinely curious as to what does that process look like with 3 weeks left. Is that something you would even consider? And he said he wouldn't, and he said he would not do it. And
which is fine.
But
that wasn't the question.
Yeah, exactly. But like, to get Crony in there, to get everybody in the lineup. And I know O'Hearn didn't have a great day yesterday, but the guys around him picked him up. Still a threat, still not a guy you can leave one down the middle of the plate to. He's an all-star. I thought it was a really, really well-managed game. And I thought credit to him for saying, all right, let's try something new. That's kind of what we wanted to see is a little bit of creativity. So credit where credit's due.
We'll see what happens going forward if the Padres can carry some of this offense to Petco Park, which is, the opposite of Coors Field. You're not going to hit a ton of opposite field home runs at Petco Park, even in September when the weather's a little bit warmer. But wow, what a good sign about Jackson going the other way, driving the ball like he did. No one wanted it, needed it more than Jackson Merrill did. You could tell that, I think some of his comments he made, like, there's my standard line out that I've been getting all over the place. Like, it was nice to see one that they actually couldn't catch. Like, okay, catch this one and put it over the fence. So just for the confidence, I think that he needed to see a couple of balls fall in and one go over the fence could be huge for Jackson Merrill going forward.
But you kind of alluded to it. Do it this week. Not just Jackson, the whole team. Do it this week. I am not riding super high off of this weekend. Now, I'm not disappointed by no stretch. Am I disappointed or anything like that? We always take series wins. We always take wins. But I don't feel a hell of a lot better today than I did on Friday because of that team, how bad they are, the Rockies, and that venue, that stadium. It's a lot of what am I trying to say here? There's just so many random factors that go into how games are played
pitching,
there.
Thin air, huge outfields. Yeah, it's different.
Do it back home. Do it against the better teams.
And what will we see tonight? Well, with Nick Lodolo on the mound, a left-hander for the Reds, I would imagine Jose Iglesias. It will and should be back in at shortstop, and Jake will move back to second base, and it'll be a much more standard-looking Padres lineup for tonight's game. Now, what happens later in the week when you've got a righty on the mound? Will Jake be back at shortstop? Was that one day only? A single-run show, or will we see that more until Xander Bogaerts is healed and back off the injured list, potentially in 2 or 3 weeks?
So I don't want to throw cold water on your matchup theory or with Mike Schilt's matchup theory. Managers do it. They all do it. Oh, no, I got to get a righty in there against a lefty. Well, against Nick Lodolo, left-handers hitting 289, slugging 395, an OBP of 346, and an OPS of 741. Against righties, right-handers are hitting 210, 259, 363 slugs, 622 OPS. So if you ran the same lineup out there again as you did yesterday, I'm not going to be mad at it because it actually plays to the numbers.
All right, when we come back, a look at the standings, the Padres, where they stand now in the race for the NL West, the wild card, and more. And we can look back at Saturday's win as well, coming up next on 97.3 The Fan. We'll be right back. 19 games remaining in the Major League Baseball regular season. And the Padres are one game behind the Los Angeles Dodgers in the NL West after picking up another game over the weekend. Dodgers dropping 2 of 3 to the Baltimore Orioles, including one in epic fashion that may get its own don't do this treatment coming up in just a few minutes. But I wanted to quickly, Woods, here, just take a look at where things stand with what's left on the table. Padres obviously need to finish ahead of the Dodgers, so they need to make up 2 games in the final 19 to win the NL West. The Padres have 13 home games, 6 road games, 6 of them against current playoff position teams. So they've got 3 against the Reds starting tonight, then 4 at home against the Rockies. Then their last road trip takes them to the New York Mets and the Chicago White Sox, and then they finish at home against the NL leading Milwaukee Brewers, and then the Arizona Diamondbacks for the last 3. The Dodgers, they're 19, break down like this. They've got 10 at home and 9 on the road. So the Padres have 3 more home games. That's an advantage. They also have 6 games remaining against current playoff teams. They get 3 against the Rockies, though, starting tonight at home. So, they're hoping to get well against the Rockies just like the Padres did. Then they go to San Francisco for 3.
Woo.
They host the Phillies for 3. They host the Giants for 4. They go to Arizona for 3, and they finish with 3 at the Seattle Mariners.
All right, that's a bit tougher schedule, I think, than we faced. But again,
clearly the Dodgers face a tougher schedule.
Yeah,
now,
better competition. That being said, it means nothing.
No,
right?
But I would think that the next 3 days are very critical for the Padres in finding a way. If you can just stay 1 game behind while you're taking on the Reds and they're taking on the Rockies, you can match what the Dodgers do. You have to sweep, you have 2 out of 3, whatever it is. Yeah. Then you feel really good going forward for the last 16, because then the schedule really turns in your favor with the Dodgers facing, as I mentioned, the Phillies and the Mariners, both fighting for playoff spots, playoff positioning, and the Giants, who have been playing really good baseball, at least until this past weekend. In the month of September, and a divisional rival that's been tough, and they're not out of playoff contention. They're only 4 games out of the playoffs right now, so they still have things to play for, as the Reds do in these games right now.
In September, dude.
So that's where things stand in the NL West. The wild card race, things have gotten a little more comfortable. The last 2 days were important for the San Diego Padres, as even I, ultimately confident that the Padres are going to make the playoffs. After Friday, I was starting to feel that pit in my stomach that we felt in 2021. Last 2 days, though, have stabilized things considerably. The Padres playoff odds, according to Fangraphs, are back up to 98% this morning. Not they had dropped to like 96
or something,
95 to 96. It wasn't that bad.
How brutal was Friday night, though? Just quickly, because we spent all of Thursday plus a roundtable, extra hour, commercial free, brought to you by Roundtable, and another full show on Friday, like getting ready for the weekend series in Colorado, recapping a terrible week of baseball, and said, hey, get on track tonight. Just win tonight.
And you had Schilt on the day before after the game saying, it stops now. Yeah. Now, again, they didn't play a particularly sloppy, there was an error, I think, but I think it was a drop foul pop.
4 total runs in a Coors Field game.
But
wild.
But to come out that night flat and not be able to hit Kyle Freeland.
No hit through
no
4
hit.
Through 5?
It was.
I mean, Freeland was hitting his spots.
He was nasty, but
he was using his curve, which was not one of his main pitches, so they were definitely thrown off. Mike Schultz said after the game, disappointed we weren't able to adjust. He clearly was doing something we did not expect and doing it well, but they were never able to adjust throughout that game, and it was highly disappointing. First time the Padres have been shut out at Coors Field since 2008. Let's hope that Friday was rock bottom, because there was definitely the bounce up over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday that gives you the indication that maybe that was rock bottom. But in the wild card race, the Padres remain 3 games behind the Chicago Cubs for the first wild card spot, which means the best path toward a home playoff series is definitely winning the division and getting the 3rd seed. The 2nd seed is going to be tough. They're 5 games behind the Phillies, currently holding the 2nd seed in the National League. So you'd need to, you need to really go on a run these last 3 weeks of the season for a chance to get that bye in the first round. But right now, it looks like the main realistic goal for your Padres is finding a way to finish 2 games better than the Dodgers the rest of the way, get that 3rd seed, and at least host the best of 3 wild card series in the first week of the playoffs.
Yeah, Reds coming in today, having won 2 straight with a lot to play for. I mean, a ton to play for. They're 4 games out right now, and they got 3 games with the San Diego Padres, and they're motivated, man. They're ready to, you have to kind of keep them at bay because they're chasing you. So they're going to be, you're the hunted. You're not the hunter at this point. So it is. And you're also the hunter at the teams above you, but you got to beat these guys. I mean, you got to find a way to win the series.
You're closer as the Padres are to the teams above you than the teams behind you, which is nice. Now, the Padres built up once again a 2-game advantage over the Mets, who are the 3rd wild card team right now. And then there's a big gap. And it's not really just the Reds or the Giants anymore. The Mets now have a 4-game lead over the Reds and the Giants and a 4.5-game lead over the Diamondbacks and Cardinals, who are back to 500. So you essentially have 4 teams in that pod there. And you'd have to expect at least one of those 4 teams is going to play good the last 3 weeks of the season. There's 4 teams there. Someone's going to try to chase down the Mets and or the Padres over the last 3 weeks. Now, with a 6-game advantage or 6.5 over those teams as the Padres, you're feeling pretty good. You've got the tiebreaker over the Giants. This series against the Reds is important because you need to win the series to get the tiebreaker over the Reds. If you win this series, go out on a limb and say you're almost uncatchable at that point. At that point, with no one, threatening you on the tiebreaker, you are in very good shape if you can win this series. If you lose the series or get swept, we can start getting nervous again, because you'd only be 3 games ahead of the Reds at that point, and they'd have the tiebreaker on you. So there certainly is cause for concern. You got to get at least one, win the series. You're feeling very, very good about the Padres' chances.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that's where the standings currently look, with 3 weeks left in the Major League Baseball season. Want to talk about Saturday's game just a little bit?
Yeah.
Because that one was fairly wild. I mean,
it was a typical Coors Field game.
It was a 6-run 2nd inning that, broke out a big lead for the Padres against McCade Brown, making like his 3rd start. And the Padres did what they should against, a young pitcher who was not commanding the strike zone or hitting his spots. And, Fernando Tatis Jr.'s 3-run home run gives them a 6-0 lead. And they add on to that lead. They get it up to, I think, 10-2 was when I thought, okay, it's Coors Field, but it's 10-2, feeling pretty good about it. And you've got your higher leverage guys coming in. And Jeremiah Estrada comes into the game, and you're thinking, okay, we're pretty good shape here. And of course, Jeremiah Estrada gives up the 3-run home run to Jordan Beck, and all of a sudden it's time to once again panic.
Yep.
That the San Diego Padres, coming off what we thought was the worst loss of the season, maybe 3-0 to the Rockies on Friday, are about to suffer something even more calamitous
worse,
and blow an 8-run lead against the Colorado Rockies on Saturday night. And twice, I believe, the Rockies got the tying run to the plate in that game. You had to empty your bullpen with Mason Miller needing to get a double play to get out of a jam in the 8th inning. Then Robert Suarez comes up, gives up a home run to Mickey Moniak in the 9th, and then it's a 2-run game, and they get the tying run up to the plate again, and you're just waiting for the absolute
disaster.
After the home run, when they got the runner on, I was sick to my stomach watching.
Me too.
Oh my God.
I was watching gameplay on my phone at the Oasis show, and it was like right around, I don't think they'd taken the stage yet when it ended, but it was I'm like, oh man, we're rolling. Like, this is great. What a perfect night. I'd seen what happened to the Dodgers, which we will talk about and do this today. I had seen what had happened to them. And I went, well, at least we're rolling right now. And then you look down and you go, oh my God. And then you look in the 9th and you're like, oh my God, here we go.
It was
Don't do this, guys. And they didn't. They held on. That was one, skin of your teeth, everybody involved. Good way to score those runs early. Those runs early are so huge.
By the way, credit to Randy Vasquez, who comes
100%
off of paternity, off of the minor leagues, had not pitched in an actual game since August 23rd, and gives you six innings, 3 runs, but just 2 earned. Scattered his 8 hits. Strandy Vasquez, as he does, didn't walk anyone, which was absolutely key.
He hadn't pitched in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, he had only thrown bullpen sessions because of the paternity and the baby. He had not had a chance to even throw a minor league game, and came back and gave you 6 innings.
Yeah, he's your hero of that, that night.
As he's been many times.
As he has many times.
And, at this point.
He's a competitor, man. We say it all the time. That guy competes. He does not have the best swing and miss in the league. He does not have the best control in the league.
But there's a place for him.
He competes.
Nestor Cortes went on the injured list over the weekend. I don't necessarily need to see JP Sears back again right now. I want Randy Vasquez to stay with this team.
No
the last
question.
3 weeks of the regular
100%.
season.
There's no question.
Right?
Let's all stamp it. And if he has a bad start, well, that doesn't make him any different than anybody else in our rotation. He has earned
Circulate the online petition.
Correct.
We're all okay. We didn't used to be okay with Randy Vasquez. We're all okay with Randy Vasquez taking his turn in the rotation.
Yeah, I'm good with no JP. I'm good with no nasty Nestor. Randy Vasquez is our guy, and he earned a lot of trust back, I got to imagine, with that performance on Saturday night.
And we are also waiting to hear Michael King through a bullpen session yesterday.
Good.
If it went well and he recovers, the knee feels good today, there is a chance he will start tomorrow's game. There's a TBD tomorrow. And that could be a Michael King start. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, it may be later in the week against the Rockies. But the expectation, based on everything Mike Schultz said over the weekend, is that this is the week we should see Michael King back in the Padres starting rotation, which is undoubtedly very good news for the San Diego Padres.
No question. And you do wonder what kind of limit there's going to be. Again, I think it's the arm has felt good. The arm has felt good. It's the knee.
Through 5 innings in that bridge game, which Mike Schilt told us about on Friday morning.
I talked to our pal JoJo, who is a trainer in Peoria, and he said, I asked him, he goes, well, did you guys finally figure out what a bridge game was? And I said, yeah, somebody told me, but I already forgot. It's not.
Did you?
Turns out it's not when you pitch under a bridge. That's not what it is.
I thought maybe it was an abridged game.
No, it's not an abridged game.
Like it was only a 5-inning game, so he pitched an abridged game.
It bridges the gap to instructs
between the summer league and the fall league.
Bridges the gap.
It's unofficial, but they're actually playing baseball in Peoria in early September, which just sounds just miserable.
So he said, I said, did you go watch King pitch? He goes, I had stuff going on. I didn't go yesterday. He goes, he had 11 strikeouts though. He said, so the game report I read made it sound like he looked really good. Now, again, it's going to be how he recovers, and he recovered well enough to throw a bullpen
Not
yesterday.
facing the 98 Yankees in the Bridge League in Arizona. But
I mean, he's executing pitches.
That's good.
And trying to feel better. So the Dirty Sanchez says that King ain't pitching the rest of the season. Maybe he knows something that we don't.
That doesn't seem like it's the case.
It doesn't.
Based on everything that is being reported and we are hearing. And in fact, he could pitch as soon as tomorrow for your San Diego Padres.
Well, that would prove Dirty Sanchez's theory wrong. Immediately. If he takes the mound, then that would prove that theory wrong.
What's up? This is Michael King.
Hey, Michael. Look forward to seeing you hopefully tomorrow.
I think the fact that it's more of a knee issue than an arm issue at this point, and that he is able to throw, would indicate that when push comes to shove, like a football player, in a playoff game, they'll find a way to get him out there at some point. They're not pushing it right now because, they need him in October, and they're being a little bit careful in that return. But at some point, you're going to say, we need Michael King, and they will find a way to wrap the knee or inject the knee or do whatever needs to happen. So Michael King is going to pitch for the San Diego Padres this season.
Yep, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's definitely a possibility. We can ask Dennis Lynn about it. Our Linsider coming up at 8:35 if he has any more details on Michael King's expected return for the San Diego Padres.
Yep, all about it.
All right, as you said, we will talk about what happened to the Los Angeles Dodgers.
No, this is a this for the Baltimore Orioles, Ben. Never quit is the whole purpose of the do this.
And
good message.
Thank you, Paulie.
the viral Phillies fan, aka Karen.
Oh my God.
That made it onto all the Sports Center shows over the weekend as well. Don't Do This is coming up next. We'll be right back with more Benna Woods after traffic on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Never found out. Did Aussie Tony ever get a chance to make it down?
He never
to
did.
7?
Didn't get a chance to make the 7
Well,
mile.
maybe when he comes back. Hopefully he'll be back for another visit at some point in San Diego. If you're visiting, if you have visitors from out of town looking for a way to entertain them for 2 or 3 hours, grown-ups who like to play cards, there's really no better place to take them than 7 Mile Casino. The convenience factor is through the roof, but you're going to impress them when they walk into that place. You are going to impress your friends.
They will be impressed. They will be impressed when they sit down at the California-style blackjack table, or if you go up to the bar area, they got great little booths there that you can get a delicious meal. They have an incredible view out on the patio. It's really got everything you need. Smoke-free environment, too. Best part, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Absolutely. The 24/7 players menu is delicious any time of day. There's not a lot of 24/7 options in San Diego. 7 Mile Casino is one of them for food, for entertainment. Really friendly, and they love to service and take care of the high-limit players. Make sure they've got a good spread of action on the California-style blackjack tables and the Texas Hold'em tables. Check it out today at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Craig Elsten coming your way in just over 10 minutes. First, though, it is time for Don't Do This, brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info.
I will start us off in Toronto. Kind of a sports story because Morgan Wallen was playing in Toronto, and he does the thing where when he plays at a certain city, he'll grab like a sports star or a famous actor or a rapper or whatever, and they walk down the tunnel with him to like walk him out to a show. It was in Toronto, and he grabbed.
I actually kind of like it. It's kind of a cool intro. I will give him that slight tip of the cap.
Yeah, it's pandering, and I'm a fan of pandering. I think it's great pandering. It's
even
really
just to
cool.
see the artist as they're approaching the stage. You're like, oh, here we go.
So he picks up Jose Bautista, of all people, to walk out with him in Toronto. And they're showing it on the big video screen, the bat flip that when he hits that home run in playoffs and just boom, just throws it. One of the best of all time.
Throws it straight up in the air.
One of the best bat flips of all time. So him and Bautista are walking out, and Bautista's carrying a baseball bat. And this is all prearranged. Obviously, they pretended like it wasn't. He's like, hey, Morgan, do my bat flip. So Morgan steps up to the plate, fake pitch, big swing, throws the bat behind him, and, well, it hits Jose Bautista's wife, who was the one filming the whole thing. Hit her dead on, Ben. Oh. And you see the camera just go and just fall because she just got smoked by the bat that Morgan Wallen threw.
Playing the angle that's coming right at her.
Oh, my God.
Watch this. Yeah, that's right at her. That's right at her. That's incredible.
You could just use like a wiffle bat.
You could.
You don't have to use a real bat for.
Because I need some whiskey glasses. Gonna get me down my whiskey glasses. I just think of Kawhi every time I hear Morgan Wallen. So good, man.
All right, for story number 2, we take you to Lone Depot Park in Miami on Friday night, I believe this was. 4th inning of the game between the Phillies and the Marlins. Harrison Bader of the Phillies hits a home run into the left field stands. Now, can we all agree that within reason, a ball into the stands is fair game for anyone?
Yes.
And if it's not caught and people are scrambling, there's going to be a mad dash to try to grab it.
Yes.
There's no... oh, this was under my seat, so it's
correct.
Mine. There's no rule
on
that
batted
involved.
balls, foul balls, and home runs. Because you'll occasionally see that. You'll often see players will throw a ball clearly to a kid that's hanging over the rail. Hey, throw it to me. And they'll, hey, right here to you. You're a jerk if you take that ball.
And ethics apply. Don't step on like a 2-year-old to try to get a foul ball. It's not that important. So there are still some manners involved. But if a ball is under someone's seat and you're there and you reach down and grab it, that's your ball.
Correct.
So a dad with a glove out there, very excited, picked up the ball, walked it back over to his seat to hand to his son. Exciting moment in the game. At that moment, a woman who was sitting to their left walked over and started berating the father. A gray-haired woman berating the father. He looks stunned, like, what's going on? I went over there and picked up the ball and gave it to my son. And now you're demanding that it's yours? So the dad, his name is Feltwell, said, quote, I pretty much wanted her to go away.
Yeah.
And I had a fork in the road. Either do something I was probably going to regret or be dad and show him how to de-escalate a situation. And he did and handed the ball to the woman. Now
she's got like fingers in his face and she is chewing him out.
She said, I wasn't very happy we had to give it to her, but we can't win. She was going to get it anyway. So the boos from the stadium toward the woman, and now she then online, she gets criticized. She ends up on Sports Center. Apparently, though, she was misidentified and online, and a school teacher in like New Jersey was getting all the hate.
Oh no,
that was meant for this woman. There was reports that she was fired from her job.
She was not.
She was not, and she actually posted. She was kind of funny about it. I know everyone thinks that I'm this woman, but I would love to be as spry and thin as she is. But that is not me in any way, shape, or form. I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm a Phillies fan. Wasn't at the game, but not her. She said so. there is some confusion and controversy about this. But that woman, who they're calling
is still at large.
Phillies fan Karen, is definitely was in the crosshairs over this weekend.
And again, I think that was a really bonehead move on her decision. It's different when you're with your children, right? And so I think the dad did the right thing by, like you said, de-escalating and saying, all right, lady, take it. It's a ball. Relax. She never had her hands on it, right? That guy didn't rip it out of her hands either. That's two grown adults fighting over baseball. Yeah. I mean, how do you claim something that you've never touched? It doesn't make sense. Now, I will say, we have gotten a little crazy with trying to crush people's whole entire lives because they made a mistake, don't you think?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, hey, she sucks and she's everywhere. Now everyone knows she sucks. She doesn't need to lose her job over it. She does not need to lose her job over
threats,
it. Right. She doesn't. She doesn't need to lose her job over this. She does not. She sucks. Make no bones about it. That's
a stupid thing to do.
Stupid move. Lame. It's
I
a
hope
ball.
You're embarrassed.
Relax. It's a ball.
It's a ball.
And the Phillies made it right. They had the kid down.
That's right.
Harrison Bader gave him a signed bat. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Look, that's
the Marlins came up and brought them a swag bag.
Yep.
Yeah.
You just made lemonade out of lemons, right? And it was just a cool moment that she actually did the kid a favor, as Street Document says, right? Did the kid a favor.
Something way better.
He got way more cooler stuff than that. All right, and let's go to one of the craziest things I have ever seen for doo-doo this.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
I couldn't believe this, and it's such a good lesson for fans, for players of any level. Don't quit until the last out is recorded. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was spinning a gem, and I mean a gem, against the Baltimore Orioles on Saturday night, Ben. He had gone 8 2/3 innings of no-hit baseball. Jackson Holliday strides to the plate, hits a home run. It's out. It's over the fence. So the shutout's gone. The no-hitter is gone. He's at 112 pitches. So Dave Roberts says, hey, man, we've got enough down there to get you one more out. We're going to get you this win. And I'm going to go to the bullpen. He goes to Blake Trinan. And Blake Trinan is all over the place. I think he went, it was hit,
double hit batsman walk to force in a run.
Bases loaded, 3-2. And this happened.
Tanner Scott comes in.
Yeah. Tanner Scott comes in.
Throw for strikes. Rivera up the middle. Base hit. Mateo around third. Mateo will score. One more magical moment in time on September the 6th in Baltimore.
Padres legend Jorge Mateo.
I cannot believe this, man. They were up 3-0, 1 out from a no-hitter, and they lost the game 4-3. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. And they clawed together enough good ABs and got enough good fortune to win that game 4-3. It's never happened in baseball history.
So the only time that a team that they found, at least in recent history, that a team had a no-hitter with 2 outs in the 9th and lost the game was when the Padres had a no-hitter, 2 outs in the 9th in 2011 against the LA Dodgers. Now, it was a scoreless game. I remember this. I feel like I was doing a weekend show from Over the Line, which makes sense because it was Saturday, July 9th, 2011. It was a combined no-hitter. Aaron Harang went 6. Josh Spence got an out. Chad Qualls got 2 outs. Mike Adams pitched an inning. And then Luke Gregerson came in with 2/3 of an inning. Now, they needed to get that final out and then score a run
in the bottom of the 9th.
In the bottom of the 9th to make it a no-hitter. They did not. Juan Uribe doubled off Luke Gregerson. And then Dioner Navarro. This was the bottom of the 9th, so they need to score in the 10th because it was at Dodger Stadium. Dioner Navarro then followed with a walk-off RBI single, and the Padres lost 1-0 in that game. But that was 0-0. This was 3-0.
3-0.
With 2 outs in the 9th inning in a no-hitter, and they found a way to lose that game to the Baltimore Orioles.
Never quit. Fight until the last out is recorded. If that's not a prime example of that, I don't know what is. And obviously helped the Padres out tremendously by coming back and winning that game. Yamamoto for them, though. I mean, guys, he's an unbelievable pitcher. He is unbelievable. And I can't even imagine what he was going through. He's had Tanner Scott cost him 4 or 5 wins this season. Now, again, he got $326 million. He's good. He got his back. But he goes out and does his job, and that bullpen keeps, especially Tanner Scott, keeps coughing it up for him. That can't be fun. If you coughed up like 5 wins for me, Ben, you know how mad I would be at you. You can't be that way, but I would be
after spending all that in free agency.
Yeah, and you come, you're like, hey, I'm really sorry. I'm like, hey, fine, just figure it out. It's 5 dubs I should have. But man, yeah, Tanner Scott, he's been great. If you're a Padres fan, he's been great.
And that is Don't and Do This for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, do you believe in the Padres now? Have they turned things around? We'll chat with our friend Craig Elsten, Padres Hot Tub, and more coming up in our next segment. Next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, got back to the Diamond yesterday after I jammed my wrist, went into QC Kinetics, got treatment on my wrist, got a PRP shot in my elbow. The elbow feels spectacular. I mean, my throws weren't all that accurate, but that's not an elbow problem. That's just a me problem. But man, it's so nice to have a place I can go that I know when my joints are not doing what they're supposed to do, I can go to QC Kinetics, sit down, see the medical professionals there, get the best care, and get the most effective treatment. So if there's something that you're missing out on in your life, and I know living here, man, it is torture when you can't do what you want to do, go see QC Kinetics. If you want to get back on your surfboard, if you want to get back on your bicycle, jogging, I mean, how about just living, walking upstairs every day? Joint pain can be so debilitating after a while. The results there, long-term, lasting relief. It's been incredible. Couldn't do it without you, QC Kinetics. No surgery, no drugs, no long recovery, just a smarter, natural way to get your freedom back. If you have MRIs from your orthopedic surgeon, bring them in. They'll take a look at it, make sure you're a good candidate for what they do. Grab the phone right now. Give them a call. Locations in Hillcrest and Torrey Hills. 619-614-PAIN. 619-614-PAIN. Once again, 619-614-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics. Let them know Woodsy from 97.3 The Fan sent you, please.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ah, man, this makes me want to run through a wall.
The ace of spades.
Ace of spades, man. It gets me every time.
All right, we will. We got Craig Elsten standing by. I heard him last night on the PA. He got to be the announcer for the Alex Morgan jersey retirement ceremony at Snapdragon Stadium. In fact, I was watching the ESPN stream, and they even tossed to him and said, "Now the public address announcer for the San Diego Wave, Craig Elsten." And Craig took over. And it was a very nice ceremony. The only problem is it came after a very bitterly disappointing 3-0 loss to the Houston Dash, a game that the Wave actually probably should have won. They had way more chances. It was one of those weird soccer games where you like dominate, but then lose 3-0.
It's like when you're playing golf and you are hitting the ball well, and you just can't make a putt or you can't score. You're like, I'm actually playing good golf. Like, this is the worst.
Just didn't work out well. We'll talk with Craig about that. And, of course, about your San Diego Padres right after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Speeds back to normal eastbound 78. That crash cleared out of lanes at Civic Center. And no other incidents or accidents, guys, but we're still seeing a lot of that usual slowing in the usual spots, but at least nothing making it any tougher for you out there. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And we are joined right now by the host of the Padres Hot Tub Podcast, the Cro-Maniacs and Crossing Streams, Craig Elsten. Good Monday morning to you, Craig.
Morning, fellas. How are you?
Doing well. Always fun to do PA at events like that, right? Like getting a chance to do a send-off. I got to do it for Brody Merrill, who was the SEALs captain. It's a cool thing, man. It's special.
It really is. And, we actually did a rehearsal the day before at Snapdragon because you have to cue everything between the ESPN truck and the local production.
Yeah.
So, a couple of days in the making of that post-match ceremony, and it was terrific. And Alex is such a great speaker.
Yes, she's
like
fantastic.
So is Ali Krieger, who was introduced her as well. She was really good.
She really was. But Alex, no notes, just had a tremendous speech last night. And she is one of the most important figures in 21st century American sports and in women's sports, one of the very top. So an incredible moment. I was really happy for the Wave organization. It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, and the game has been accurately described. Totally sucked. And
should they have done the ceremony at halftime just to avoid the possibility of that happening at the end of the game?
Maybe before the game.
Alex, get out here.
Let's do it now.
Let's do this at halftime. Let's do this now. No, I was very happy that the ceremony delayed the 11 p.m. Sports Center. I was like, we've got a real audience right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Looking for Packers highlights is watching us instead. But yeah, 68% possession, 13 corners, 18 shots on goal, lose 3 spit. Soccer.
Soccer in a nutshell. Craig, let's talk a little bit of Padres baseball as well. So, yeah, man, you do feel like Friday night, you just kind of want to leave it where it was. It was not a great performance, and the kind of declaration by Schulte that, hey, it's over, and then to come out and kind of fall flat, that was a blow. But the boys did rebound nicely to take 2 of 3 in the house of horrors that is Coors Field. And yesterday, pretty stress-free. Day before, not so much though. Not so much. And you just chalk it up to Coors Field. You got 2 wins, which is, you needed 3, but you got 2 and you'll take 2.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. As I said last week on the show, I will say again, the only truly important thing for the Padres is to find their form and play well. Playing well will solve everything. They have played poorly for 2 weeks. They didn't play great on Saturday. They took advantage of a rookie pitcher, and then the bullpen was awful. It gave up 5 runs in 4 innings. I mean, it was really, really bad. But they got through that game, and of course, the Dodgers did the funniest thing the same day. And now here you are, a game out. And guys, I'll make one prediction for sure. 3 weeks from now, 3 weeks from today, one of either us or LA is going to look at the first week of September and say that's where we blew it.
Yep.
One of the two is going to say that, because one of the two is going to have blown it. One way or the other, and they're going to look back at this week with regret. If the Padres play 500 this week on the Dodgers, if the Dodgers play 500, they're 5 games up on San Diego, and it's over. But instead, both teams went into a lose-off, and now you've got this fascinating situation coming up. I think the next 3 days are so important, boys, because the Padres host the Reds while the Dodgers host the Rockies, and you would certainly expect LA to win 3 games.
Yeah.
Obviously, they might not, but you'd expect them to win 3 games. So this is defining, because after that, every day the Padres have a little bit of an advantage for a 10-day stretch. And in particular, the fact that the Giants are the team that's trying to come up on us, and they're going to play the Dodgers 7 times. That while the Padres are playing the Rockies, the Dodgers will play the Giants. And I think that Dodgers-Giants series is pretty much everything in this chase for the NL West. But back after the deadline, you asked me, and I said it was 53-47. I thought the Padres could do it. The reason why is this 10-game stretch coming up. If San Diego takes care of business, structurally, they have an advantage in the schedule down the stretch. Can they take advantage? They didn't last week. Can they do it this week?
Not only structurally, but I like how the season ends for the Padres. The Padres have Arizona here. The Dodgers still have to go to Chase. And the Diamondbacks are not out of it either. They're back to 4.5 games out of a playoff spot. I mean, yeah, you don't think they're going to get back in it, but they have to play them earlier. By the time the Padres play the Diamondbacks, they truly will be out of it. And then the Dodgers have to finish against the Mariners, who may be fighting for a playoff spot on the road those last 3 games. So if you can go into the last weekend tied, you've got a real shot, I think, if you're the San Diego Padres. So if you can just make up 1 game over the next 16 games, I think you've got an absolute shot to then win the division, Craig.
Oh, I totally agree, which brings us back to playing well, which brings me to yesterday. And Steven knows we had a couple of texts back and forth because I watched your guys' interview with Mike Schilt on Friday. I heard him do the chuckle down his nose talk to you guys think defense important, right?
Right. Yeah.
You guys think defense wins games, don't you? Okay, well, I'm glad we agree. I guess I'll answer your question. Immediately, he goes to a non-defensive lineup when it was time to get the offense going.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, I'm here for it. Okay? I'm here for it. There's no reason why you can't put an offense-first lineup out there with the ability to change it in the middle of the game.
Correct.
This team needs to get leads. Offensive lineup helps them get leads. So I am okay with Cronenworth at short, Arise at second, O'Hearn at first, because that allows the Laureano, Merrill, Tatis, Sheets stack to get into the heart of this order, and that gives the Padres enough power to win games. I truly am fine with this lineup. Now, what was hilarious was that Schilt did everything right yesterday got to the 6th inning, built his lead, went to his defensive shift. In comes Iglesias to short to improve short. Over goes Cronenworth to second to improve second. And over goes Arise to first to make Arise, the worst defending first baseman, stay on the field while the better defending first baseman, O'Hearn, got off the field. Okay, we need to make that tweak.
Baby steps, though. Baby steps, right? Like you got to crawl before you walk, Craig. And that's one of the things I wanted to ask him about, and I'll probably save it to the next one. But it's one of those things, and we talked a little bit about it on Friday. Managing games, not only to, I hate to use the phrase cover your ass, right? But like, if I'm going to go down, I don't want Gavin Sheets or O'Hearn on the bench. If I go down, I'm okay going down. Like, you're going to lose games as a baseball manager. I don't want to go down with a better potential, more potent lineup there. And I do understand defense matters, man. It absolutely matters. But it's not so crazy where, you're like, let's put Gavin Sheets at third. I mean, it's not adult league, right? When a guy gets hurt and you have to figure things out. These guys can figure it out. They can play the game well enough. And it's not like, Crony wasn't lighting the world on fire when he was playing second base. He had a really tough couple of weeks. So I want to go down swinging with my best guys, Craig, always.
That's it. It's just a matter of, like, when we now look, we're deep enough into the season. We can dismiss with he might turn it around, or, you never know that. It's the second week of September. The season is defined. Everyone's seasons are defined. And we know a couple things about the Padres. The Padres struggle on the road. The Padres struggle against command pitchers, guys who can pinpoint with control and hit all four corners. That's why even a Kyle Freeland can be tough on the San Diego Padres. And at the top of the list, the Padres don't have as much power as any other playoff team. And that's going to kill you in the playoffs unless you can find the solution. And the solution is O'Hearn and Sheets in the lineup at the same time. And the issue is that forces you to change your defense. Now, I previously, a couple weeks ago on this segment, said eventually the pressure point's going to fall on Arise. Bogarts got hurt. And as such, they have found a way to release the pressure by sliding Cronenworth over to short. Those decisions still have to be made down the road, guys. I have no faith in the Padres to do the aggressive, progressive thing as an organization. They're a back of the baseball card managing front office, or certainly at least the manager's room is. That's clear. That's why they won't use an opener for Cease either when they absolutely should. But I'd love to see these tiny little moves, because these tiny little moves can be the margin calls that push the Padres into a playoff run instead of out of one.
Craig, before you go, I got a fun international event coming up this weekend at Front Wave Arena. Tell everybody what's going on.
Yeah, thanks for the second about it. It's the Four Nations Cup. It's taking place at Front Wave Arena Saturday and Sunday. If you enjoyed hockey's Four Nations face-off, very similar, but for indoor soccer. The United States, Mexico, Brazil, Colombia. Games at 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Saturday. Games at 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock on Sunday. I'll be announcing all those games on YouTube, but come on down, go to frontwavearena.com. If you're a North County person and you can't make it all the way down for either SDFC or Padres this coming weekend, why not stick up at Front Wave Arena? It's going to be great. And it's kind of like the unofficial preseason-y kickoff for indoor soccer. Still a couple months away, but a great chance to wet the palate, guys. Frontwavearena.com for tickets for the Four Nation face-off.
And a big SDFC game later this week. We can talk about that as the week goes on against the second place team, Minnesota United, in the Western Conference.
Game.
So huge home game, maybe the biggest one yet for SDFC. Craig, appreciate it as always. Have a good week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Talk to you then. Take care, boys.
Thanks, brother.
Craig Elsten, Padres Hot Tub Podcast. Everyone seems to just really love his Monday hot takes on the San Diego Padres. Here's my hot take. Do you think that Mason McCoy going in on, I think, Saturday as the defensive shortstop and pretty much butchering every defensive play he had? Bad throw, couldn't come up with a handle, and the entire rationale for Mike Schultz, hey, we got to go defense, was kind of blown up by Mason McCoy not performing under the spotlight of, not that he's going to be your everyday guy, and I'm sure Jose Iglesias will still be in there a lot, but you have to remember with defense, you never know for sure.
Correct.
You can put Jake in there and he makes the play of his life. Now, will if you played him an entire season, would he be an above average shortstop? Probably not.
Probably not.
But can for 3
weeks, can you bust it out?
Can he just manage? And there's no guarantee he's going to make any bad plays. You just kind of cross your fingers and you go, let's put a good lineup out there and trust that Jake. And I think it's different putting Jake there than Jackson.
Hold on 1 second. And this is what it boils down to for me. You start that lineup every game with Crony at short. Is there one person, on the planet that's going to say, we got goal, we have Mason McCoy there that can pick it, and you're running Crony out there? We've got Jose Iglesias who can pick it, and you're running Crony. There's not one. And if you do it, I'm going to kick you in the shin because this is a better lineup. It is. There's not one person that's going to say, Shilty, how could you dare not have Mason McCoy in there? Not one person. Not one. It's just not going to happen. Roll your best lineup. Go down swinging with your best lumber, right? And you're not. I don't think you're going to lose that much on defense, especially after how he played.
I know about 85,000 or more San Diegans, including Stephen Woods and family, went to see the Savannah Bananas this weekend.
Woo! Talk
about Woods' experience at Petco Park on Friday night and what happened on Saturday as well. All coming up next. Second half of Ben and Woods on the way on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we are halfway home on a Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. Great to be here with you. It's a victory Monday. It's a series victory Monday, and now we will get to tee it up again against the Cincinnati Reds, who are coming into town probably pretty hungry to win a ball game. Nick Lodolo on the bump tonight has pitched well against the Padres in his career, pitched well against the Padres earlier this season. So, again, man, there's no easy schedule. I know we want to say we use little similes, right? Where we say favorable. It's favorable. I think we've learned our lesson. There are no easy schedules. There will be no easy games in the next 19. You're going to have to use everybody at your disposal to win baseball games. And, Mike Schultz got a tough job ahead of him the last few weeks of the season, as does every manager in it right now. I mean, every single manager. Dave Roberts, I'm telling you, and Dodger fans, yes, they have the Rockies, but holy cow, with the way they've been playing, you can't help but be nervous, man. You just can't. But it's at home. They should be fine. So you got to know that, and you got to handle business against those Reds as they arrive tonight to play the Padres. So we will obviously be monitoring all that's going on with them. But Petco Park was rocking for a totally different reason this weekend. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, executive producer, and Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. The Bananas, the Savannah Bananas, were in town, and oh my gosh, what a spectacle it was.
I'm glad that you went to see it firsthand. I saw tons of clips and videos. I saw live reports on television. My colleague Tolly went down. She was in the concourse looking at the line like 100 deep to buy Bananas merchandise. Yeah. Everybody in town seemingly was in yellow over the weekend.
You could not get the two merch lines that I attempted this weekend were impossible. Oasis was impossible. I tried twice, and it was about 60 deep both times. The Bananas merch was about 100 deep both times, and I went middle of the game. I went, close to the end of the game. There was just nothing.
It wasn't happening.
It wasn't happening. We have a bunch of Bananas merch that my wife had ordered online. They've been wearing banana stuff for like a year now. So they have their merch. So we went to two events and bought zero merch. I'm very proud of the Woods family. It was an ambitious weekend, as I said. But we went down there. Now, we had some friends that went, and they went down super early at like 2:30 in the afternoon. And luckily, my wife said, I don't want to do that. We'll leave North County at about 4. 6:30 start. So we did. Got down there, no problem. Parked, no problem. Walked in, no problem. I mean, it was actually pretty solid. There was the concourses were, you could move around. Like, we went in, we got what we wanted to eat.
But Petco Park's capacity is still what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Like, it could feel like a playoff game or whatever. Like, it could sure feel like a ton of people down there, but it's not like it was 90,000 people going to that game.
K-Law says the Bananas line was empty Friday night. It was not the one that I saw. The one where where the waterfall is and the
that's the
main
one where
steps.
Tolly was at too, right by the main steps.
Yeah,
huge line.
That line was insane, and it was insane in the first, it was insane in the fourth, and it was insane in the seventh when we left. But we got there. We had Bo, Taylor, Hannah, me, and Bo's friend Vance, and we went out. And you know what? Both of them walking in, Vance is the best. He goes, "This is cool. I wish we were going to a Padres game, though." And I go, "Yeah, I get it. It's weird." And it was weird going to Petco Park, knowing you weren't about to see the Pods play. And you walk in, and it's, when I say overstimulation, that's really what it is. I mean, it is just a lot. It's a lot going on. And we went out to Gallagher Square just to kind of take in the scene, and the boys want to throw the baseball around, so they did. It was cool. They do a really good job, man. They really do. And as far as putting on a show. So then we matriculate back to our seats for the
Gallagher Square looked unbelievable.
It was crazy, man. And so we went back to to our seats. We were in 120. We had pretty good seats, kind of down the third base line. The one thing there's a lot to talk about, obviously, with the Bananas, but I tweeted, I'm like, are they ever going to start the game? Because it was a lot of pregame, and it was a lot of intros and ceremony type deals. But it's a scene. I mean, the shortstop plays with no hat on and no sleeves, which I thought, like, how do you play baseball without a hat? I digress. I will say the kids had a really good time. And by the kids, I mean Bo and Vance. Taylor pretty much hates everything. He was ready to go 10 pitches in. He's tapping. Hannah now said that the shoulder tap is her most triggering thing on the planet. Can we go home? Can we go home now? He was just wanted to eat snacks and hang out. He wasn't really into it. My overall thoughts on it is I'm glad I did it. I probably wouldn't do it again. Does that make sense? Like I did it. We went.
So explain, I was reading through some of the rules. So they count down at the clock to start the game. It's
Yeah.
2 hours.
2 hour time limit.
Time limit.
Maybe it's a long 2 hours.
Because most baseball games are obviously 2.5 to 3, even with the pitch clock. 2 hours is short game.
Now I was getting
You
a
get
lot
penalized if you step out of the batter's box, I believe.
Yeah,
and I'm moving.
I was getting a lot of texts from some baseball old heads, one of whom played in the big leagues. Texted me, he goes, "Where are you sitting?" I told him. He goes, "What do you think?" I go, the other thing, man, I had two things working against me that night. I had the Padres playing at the same time. So I'm watching, the game cast on my phone. And I had the anticipation of Oasis the next day. So if that's where really my head was at. But my kids Vance and Bo were sitting in front of us, and me, Hannah, and Taylor were in one row. The coolest thing that happened, though, one of the firefighters, who is the team they play, came to the rail, and we're probably 40 rows up. And he's holding the yellow baseball. And he's holding it. Who wants it? Who wants it? He slings it up into the crowd, and my son, Bo, gets glove on it. It hits the ground, and then this older guy comes in, gets his hand on it. I'm standing right above them with my arms crossed, waiting to deck this guy if he takes this ball from my son. And Bo, and then he realizes, oh, that's a 7-year-old kid. Probably thought he was a girl. It's a 7-year-old girl. And kind of gets his hands off it. Bo takes it. I've never seen a smile on his face like I saw in that moment. He was beaming. We just put it up in the chat. Beaming, proud to get this baseball. And so then the guy in the stilts comes out.
You guys are not on the rail.
We are not on the rail.
Wow,
but we are
he really
up.
chucked that up there.
We are up. He was so happy to get that baseball. Now, there's only one ball. There's 3 kids.
Oh.
The other 2 kids are very disappointed. Taylor is almost in tears.
Oh.
That's when I leave to try to go buy a ball from merch. Couldn't. Vance is just staring at it longingly.
You're trying to find somebody else. You're like, I'll give you $500.
Yeah, I'll give you $500. I
need
need 2, actually. I'll take 2. I'll 2 for $500. So, man, he was grinning. But then the game starts, and they're just kind of sitting and watching. The other thing about the Bananas, everybody stands like the whole time. So Bo and Vance couldn't really see what was going on the field. The field action was cool.
Outside of the bits, some of the differences, like when there's no traditional walks, you throw ball 4 and the guy sprints out of the box. He can go as far as he can get until every other player on the field has touched it. All 9 guys have to touch the ball.
Flip it around.
And then it's live, so you can get to second or even third base on a walk.
I'll say this. Their ability to move the baseball and manipulate the baseball is really cool. Frankly, I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more trick shots and trick throws. Something is lost because there's so much going on at all times. The music is blaring, and they're really good. They're good. They throw hard. Like there was a guy, and this was what popped in my head. The starting pitcher for the Savannah Bananas, I don't remember his name, but he was a lefty, sleeveless, comes out to the mound, first pitch, and he looks around. There's 45,000 people there, bro. You are pitching in a big league stadium around. This is what it sounds like for a World Series.
Like a college pitcher, a minor league pitcher at some point in his life, and
he's
never was going to get this opportunity.
45,000 people.
Bro, I was watching on YouTube a little bit on Friday night, and I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, how cool for these kids,
right?
Like who had. You got to assume they all had dreams of being major leaguers.
Of course, and they got skills.
A lot of them played college or independent or minor league baseball, and this is just the next step. But bro, even if you made it into the minor leagues, you weren't playing in stadiums like that in front of crowds like that.
Kirk Kenny did a little piece on the guy on stilts who came out. He pitches on stilts.
It's the most wheels off.
And he had given up his baseball career, and his mom signed him up for this tryout for the Savannah Bananas. And she said, get your stilts. And they asked him, can you actually pitch on stilts? And he goes, oh yeah. And he goes, I have no idea if I can, but he is good on stilts. He got stilts like for his 10th birthday. And he was just really natural on them. And he thought, I can give it a try.
All I kept thinking is one of those is going to slip. And I'm going to watch this guy fall 30 feet on the ground. I had to put my head down. I was like, I can't watch the stilt guy. Bo was like, he's throwing everything's down. He's throwing everything down. I'm like, he's 40 feet in the air, dude. Like, what do you want? Like, easy, Ruben. Swearing the guy out. But
now you mentioned like baseball old heads texting you.
They were.
I can only imagine how they were feeling about it. But now I have not seen the Bananas in person. I've seen the clips. I've watched a little bit on YouTube. Like, you have to go into it. You can't view it as I'm going to watch a baseball game. It's like a play or a musical or like a Broadway show.
I've been to the Harlem Globetrotters. You don't go like you're going to watch a basketball game.
No.
It's entertainment. But the two
are they ever going to do a damn pick and roll?
There's two moments that I feel like you're waiting for if you go to a Savannah Bananas game. One is a fan going to catch a ball for an out.
And they did.
And it happened.
It was cool.
See, everyone, that had to be really cool, right?
It was so cool. Fouled back. Everyone in the stadium is boom, like the place goes nuts. So that was
I genuinely feel bad for anybody that bought tickets and was disappointed and upset because there was no baseball. Like, you have to have a different mentality going.
And then the second moment is who's going to be the surprise guest. Now, you went on Friday night.
I got Heath Bell. Who
I saw the video of him.
So the only thing, in my opinion, that I think that they did wrong was they had him run out of the dugout instead of run out of left field and do the slide. But he ran in, he slid into second base, got up, came out. I want to say, if memory serves, I think he threw one pitch, and the guy smoked it, and the guy in right field caught it, and he's out of the inning. So he slides into second, and then takes the mound. I think he throws all of one pitch.
And they ended the game with a backflip catch.
Yeah, the backflip catch I saw later on. I was home by that point, Paul. We left in the seventh. But the I saw it on Twitter. But all in all, man, yeah, it was pretty cool. They do a good job at what they do, right? Which is putting on a show. Like I said, I don't think I'd go again. And my kids weren't like over the moon about it. They were like into it, and they were good, and they were well behaved, like extremely well behaved, wanting to watch. And it was just a lot, man. It's a lot of music. Now,
how about this? I know you had the Oasis concert on Saturday night. Forget that. Pretend that's not happening.
Right.
You're home on Saturday, and you got offered tickets. Now, you didn't know that Trevor Hoffman was going to be the guest.
I did.
You did.
I knew.
You were not allowed to say anything.
I wasn't allowed to say, but when I saw,
I wasn't going to out
going to be Heath
when
Bell
I
and
saw
Trevor Hoffman,
when I saw Hoffy at the gym at Cheese Fitness, he told me, he goes, I go, hey, the room.
And you were right not to say anything.
Right, of course.
It's supposed to be a surprise.
And so he goes, yeah, I'm actually doing Saturday. And I went, I got Friday tickets. And
if I had Friday tickets and then was offered Saturday tickets, knowing Trevor Hoffman was coming out, I might have had to go.
I think having seen so many of Trevor's actual entries to a game, to Hell's Bells in my life, I didn't need to see it again. I have the special memories, but I thought about all the kids.
Yeah, and all the dads that hadn't shared
and hadn't been able to ever show them what happened. To get that opportunity one more time in a game, even if it was just a Savannah Bananas game, that was pretty cool.
I saw so many people. I mean, and it's the same feeling I had going to take my kids to Oasis. The exact same. That was my thing, and I played it for you. I never thought it would happen, and it did, and we're here together experiencing it. So I saw a lot of dads saying that, like tweeting like they were in tears.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just an incredible moment at Petco Park on Saturday.
When was his last season with the Padres? Like, when was the last time we've seen Hell's Bells at Petco Park?
7. It was a long time ago.
Yeah,
19 years.
Long time ago. So that's a really cool thing that they did for that. I will tell you this. Some of the bits they did, I was like, ooh, I'm jealous. These bits they had guys on every base with big rubber balls. So this guy is representing LA. The whole place, boo. This guy on third is representing Sacramento. Boo. This guy on San Diego, or this guy on second is representing San Diego. So they have these big rubber balls. They all run and converge on the mound and try to bump each other and blast each other with the ball. San Diego guy won. He knocked the dude from Sacramento into the next galaxy. I mean, he knocked him out cold. It was great. That was a good bit. They did the pregnant dance off, which was mildly uncomfortable because one lady did pull her shirt up and she had like a cat drawn on her belly. That was all right, whatever. They did the pick your parent. They brought a kid out. They had the parents stand apart and the kid's like,
oh my God.
And the kid random mom, which I thought was a genius bit. I thought it was a genius bit. But listen, I told my wife this.
Fitted sheet race? I didn't see that. Was that on?
I don't think I saw that one.
I hate doing fitted sheets.
But so I told Hannah this. I said, look, at the end of the day, we're not at the Woods family. I'm just speaking for the Woods family here. We're not the dancing TikTok like family. For dads that are like, yeah, buddy, like it's just not who we are. We enjoyed ourselves. We had a great time at it. But you could definitely see the difference in like some families and the Woods family. You know, we think we're too cool, I think. So we just sat there,
I gotta say,
dressed in all black, watching this thing, and I'm watching the game mostly on my phone.
I watched a little bit on Friday night. Knowing you were there, I wanted to kind of see some of the events so that I could hear your stories. That was the night I heard a lot of Anchorman references, and I thought, oh, Woods is losing his mind right now.
They did.
The leather-bound books, Rich Mahogany.
Ron Burgundy.
And then, were you there? Was that the, they had the other celebrity Cameo, the What Does the Fox Say? Were you there for that?
It's the Fox. Oh, I think I was. But I think I was not paying attention.
I think they had like the guy that did that
Sings
song.
that song.
Yeah.
And they did. I was like, Woods is pacing right now.
I really was watching the Padres get no hit on my phone. But I'll tell you, my behavior was outstanding. I went and I got everyone. I did what I was supposed to do.
You could have turned very sour.
I could have
tell
soured
on Friday before. You were thinking it's going to be sour Woods.
And no, I wasn't. And I really, my behavior was top notch. I think even my wife would say.
Paulie, all right, we got to take a break. Can you lock the phone lines for a second? Just because I want to give everyone an equal chance. Because we've got a pretty good
locked.
Well, not pretty good. An unbelievable Take on Woods grand
prize.
Best
Take on Woods Vegas prize.
Yeah, if you missed it earlier, this month's grand prize is the Eagles at the Sphere and a stay at the Venetian and more. And we will tell you about it. But if you want to call in, we're going to give it about a minute and then start dialing in during the break. Paulie will open the lines randomly during the break. 833-288-0973. Same rules, though. You got to take on Woods. It's a musical trivia challenge today. Your chance at 833-288-0973. Coming up next here after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan. First, I get to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. Feeling good still. More than 2 years after my weight loss journey. Lost 40 pounds in 60 days. I have kept all that weight off. It's the first time I've ever done weight loss and been able to keep the weight off more than 6 to 8 months. It was always so tough because I did bars and shakes. But when you stop taking the bars and shakes and eating those and eat real food, the weight came back. It was just too hard. But with SDFatLoss.com, you're losing weight while eating regular foods. I ate a lot of chicken. I ate some steak, ate some veggies, and lost up to a pound of fat per day, 10 to 20% of my body weight in just 60 days. That's what you can expect with no exercise and no injections, with no side effects at all. All you have to do is listen to your counselor, your coach. They will guide you. They will help you. They will coach you, and they will get you through it, and then they will help you keep the weight off in the maintenance phase after it's done. Just go online to SDFatLoss.com, sign up for your free consultation, mention my name, Ben from 97.3 The Fan, get $200 off the program here in the month of September, and change your life. For me, that means no back pain, knee pain, gone. Just feeling and looking better, clothes fitting better, all those things that come with weight loss. You can do it. Just go to SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Okay, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
All right, Dennis Lynn coming up in a few minutes, so we got to get right to it. Paulie's found our contestant, the first opportunity to win Sphere tickets to the Eagles and the getaway to Las Vegas right now on Take on Wolves. All right, let's bring on, I believe this is Frank.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Frank, how excited are you? You've got the first opportunity to qualify for our grand prize. It is a trip to see the Eagles at the Sphere Las Vegas, including 2 tickets to the show on January 30th, a 2-night stay at the Venetian Resort Las Vegas, a Vibey VIP package, and a $100 gas card. Eagles have added 2026 shows to their residency at the Sphere in Las Vegas, Friday, January 23rd, Saturday, January 24th, Friday, January 30th, and Saturday, January 31st. Now a total of 48 shows. Tickets are at Ticketmaster.com. You need to beat or Ty Woods, though, in our 5-question musical trivia challenge, and you get the category selection. Here are your choices. You've got the Apart, 5 songs with either part or a part in the title. Thank you very much, 5 song titles including the word much. And our new category, Baby Talk, 5 song titles that begin with the word baby. So you've got the Apart, Thank you very much, or Baby Talk. Frank, what's it going to be?
Go Baby Talk.
Baby Talk, the new category today. All right, very simple. 5 song titles to begin with the word baby. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many of the 5 questions as you can. First question's the 2-second song. It'll be a little bit of music from Paulie. You need to give me the song title and the artist to score that point. Pass if you don't know one. We'll come back if there's time left on the clock. You go first. Woods goes second. We'll compare scores at the end. Frank, you good to go?
Ready.
All right, let's do this. Paul, you good? All right, 60 seconds on the clock. The category is baby talk. Frank, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
Baby, hold on to me.
By?
I'll get back to that.
Okay. Criticized for lyrics objectifying women, Sir Mix-a-Lot spent 5 weeks atop the charts with which 1990. Correct. Featuring a device known as a talk box. It was actually the 1976 live version of which Peter Frampton's song that became a major hit for the English rocker. Britney Spears took the world by storm with which 1999 debut single, which replaces the phrase
Baby, hit me one more time.
Correct. Which 1977 debut hit eventually became a yacht rock classic and the signature song for the band Player. All right, let's go back to the 2-second song. You got the title. Who's the artist?
Baby, hold on to me. The guy died. His name is... can't remember.
Featuring a device known as a talk box. It was actually the 1976 live version of which Peter Frampton's song that became a major hit for the English rock. Oh, time is up. We got two. Got Baby Got Back and Hit Me Baby One More Time. Eddie Money is the name that you couldn't come up with Baby Hold On. Baby I Love Your Way by Peter Frampton and Baby Come Back by Player. All right, 2. Will that be enough against Woods? He doesn't get the category. Frank's score is locked in. Feel more tension because of the prize for some reason.
Yeah, man, that's a big one.
All right, first up. All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Frank.
Baby Hold On to Me by Eddie Money.
Correct. Criticized for lyrics objectifying women, Sir Mix-a-Lot spent 5 weeks atop the charts with which 19...
Baby Got Back.
Correct. Featuring a device known as a talk box. It was actually the 1976 live version of which Peter Frampton's song that became a major hit for the English
Baby
rocker.
I Love Your Way.
Correct. Britney Spears took the world by storm.
Hit
with
Me Baby One More Time.
Correct. Which 1977 debut hit eventually became a yacht rock classic and the signature song for the band Player.
Baby, come back.
That is a 5 for 5, which means, Frank, thank you for playing, but no one qualified for the Eagles at the Sphere yet. We've got at least 3 more weeks to go, though, to fill up the ranks of qualifiers. But well played. Perfect on the category Baby Talk.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we will take a timeout when we come back. Michael King, could he be back tomorrow? We will check in with our Linsider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. Talk more Padres baseball coming up next. Don't go away. It's Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, it's been a while.
Wow, look what's back.
I know. We get a chance to tell you about SDG&E. Woods?
Well, the #1 priority for SDG&E is the safety of everyone in the region. Keeping us safe during wildfire season, as you know, can be challenging. It's very hot, dry vegetation, changing weather conditions. So this is when they may need to call the public safety power shutoff.
Yeah, absolutely. To make the decision, SDG&E relies on scientific data like wind speed measurements, vegetation, moisture, temperature. Let's just be clear. They're not doing this willy-nilly because they know it's a big inconvenience when they have to shut off your power. It's for the safety of everybody in the region.
Yes, so make sure that you, #1, go update your contact information to receive alerts. Download the alerts by SDG&E at sdge.com/notify. That way, you're up to date. When I've gotten them, I have gotten them over the years, and I'm like, okay, it's time to start preparing. Like, let's make sure that we know exactly what we need to do, get the emergency kit going, make sure they have your most up-to-date contact info.
And then you'll also get the alert when it's over and it's safe to go back. So make sure you sign up for outage notifications at sdgne.com/notify or download the alerts by SDG&E app. Again, that's sdgne.com/notify or download the alerts by SDG&E app.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Two homestands, one road trip remaining for your San Diego Padres. Home this week, road next week, home the final week of the regular season. And then what we do expect to be at least some playoff games in the future of the San Diego Padres coming up in October. But will they be healthy enough to actually make a deep run? We got Dennis Lin from The Athletic standing by. Our weekly chat with our Linsider is coming up right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by the kids of Caltrans. Busy morning on our freeways, guys. We got this crash on the La Media off-ramp, westbound 905. Now getting reports of a collision on westbound 54, just before Highland. A couple vehicles now over to the right shoulder. Also heading out of the South Bay, northbound 5 past Coronado Avenue. Accident over the right shoulder. Up ahead, reports of another crash near Hawthorne. That, too, is over to the right shoulder. In the North County, several problems here. One is across the coastline, Harbor Drive off-ramp, southbound 5. Traveling on southbound 15 before Bernardo Center, reports of stalled motorcycle over the right shoulder. And Mercy Road on-ramp to southbound 15, another stall. Traveling on westbound 78 before Woodland Parkway. A collision involving several vehicles. That's all over the right shoulder.
My mom, my papa, my daddy. Where's the Caltrans? On the freeway, right next to speeding cars.
Please be careful.
Be alert. Be work zone alert. Brought to you by the kids of Caltrans.
Happy Monday, Padres fans. It's time to discuss the weekend that was for the Padres with our Ben & Woods Linsider, Dennis Lin from The Athletic. Brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks, it gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Dennis Lin from The Athletic with us. And Dennis, you know, he covers baseball for a living. This is what he does. I mean, we talk a ton of baseball as well, but it's his life. And he's supposed to draw some conclusions about the San Diego Padres based on what he sees. It's really hard to do, Dennis.
They are tough.
And I mean, it's really hard. Can we draw any conclusions? It felt like they hit rock bottom on Friday and then are bouncing back on the way up. But can you take anything out of 2 games at Coors Field, knowing that could be a mirage, at least offensively, just because you're facing the Rockies in that thin altitude?
No, you're right. I don't know what quite to make of it. I think history tells us we probably shouldn't assume too much because, they got shut out in the first game by Kyle Freeland and one of the worst teams in baseball history. And then next 2 games, they score a combined 18 runs. And this is supposed to be, the part of the schedule where they took advantage of an easy slate, right? And they went 3-6 in the last three series against, 3 teams that should have been overmatched. So that's not what you want, as Joe Girardi say, but I think you look if you're still 1 game out of the division, I guess technically 1.5 or 2, because they don't have the tiebreaker. So, it's been a very bizarre stretch for the Padres, but I've seen a lot of those over the years, as you alluded to.
Yeah, you have, and I think other beat writers for other teams are certainly feeling this. There's a lot of teams going through the exact same thing right now. We all had this quote unquote easy schedule, Dennis, and as you said, you look up, you're a game out, a game and a half back, or whatever, or 2 games in the with the tiebreaker, and you're like, okay, like it's still there. As bad as we've played, the division is still very much in reach. But you have to win baseball games. You cannot count on the Dodgers going out and continuing to lay eggs. But what can you discern from this? I mean, has anything stabilized as far as the Padres? And did Randy Vasquez, is he the great stabilizer for this rotation that we needed?
I think right now you have to say yes, because if they lost that second game in Colorado after the stinker they laid the night before, that would have been like the end of the world for the entire fan base. As we know, I know we're just talking about how every team has to deal with that, but that would have been full-on disaster, losing the series in Colorado. Again, I know it's Colorado and weird things happen there, but you have to give Randy Vasquez credit, going 6 innings, 2 runs. And I think over the previous 9 games, they had gone 5 innings once exactly through the entire rotation.
Yeah.
So the rotation is a tone setter. Randy Vasquez was the tone setter on Saturday, and he keeps doing it somehow every time he comes up. Not every time, but he is a more reliable option than, say, Dylan Cease at this point, it seems like. I won't assume that going forward, but I think he is kind of an unsung hero of this team this year.
Dennis, what are you hearing now on Michael King, the very latest? Do you believe he will start for the Padres on this homestand and possibly even tomorrow night against the Reds?
I think they don't have much choice but to hope that he will. Now it'll depend how he's woken up after, I think he had a bullpen yesterday, and he's had setbacks recently, right? So they don't want to get too far ahead of themselves, but looking at who's pitched for El Paso the last 3 days, it seems like they don't really have a lot of options down there either. Even if those guys were rested, because, JP Sears has not been reliable since he came over at the trade deadline. Matt Waldron has pitched recently for El Paso. Obviously, he's not been much of an option this summer. And yeah, you've got Nestor Cortez on the potentially, I guess you would maybe call it the Phantom IL. But
so I was just going to ask you, is that a real injury? I mean, he has been hurt all year, or is that more of he hasn't been effective?
I saw his bicep tensing up, and that I'm sure it's a real.
Okay.
It did look very tense when you're giving up 4 home runs in about 15 minutes. You tend to tighten up a little bit. So I believe in the validity of it. Absolutely, Dennis.
Yeah. To be fair, that's kind of tongue in cheek on my part, but I should not assume that either. That maybe he's not hurt and they're just putting him on the Phantom IL. But yeah, either way, he's not an option right now, obviously. So they've either got to go, I guess, Michael King or a bullpen game, which I don't think they want to do to their bullpen after losing Jason Adam and how much stress the bullpen has had to take on, even after rosters expanded. So I think they're kind of hoping and praying that it's Michael King.
Talking to Dennis Lynn here on Ben and Woods this morning, and I'm sure you heard the interview that we did with Schulte on Friday, and he asked, do you guys value defense? And we said absolutely, and I know he does, and I know what organization he came from and spent the majority of his life with, in the St. Louis Cardinals, and they very much value defense, Dennis. And you did see him go a little bit, probably even out of his comfort zone yesterday, starting Jake Cronenworth at shortstop. And look, it worked, but just because it worked once doesn't mean it will continue to work. Do you get that? That wasn't, and I'm not looking at this like, oh, Mike Schilt panicked. I don't think that at all. But I will give him credit for actually doing that yesterday and getting your better bats in the lineup. There is something there, right? There, you got to crawl before you can walk. And I think the results certainly bore out that it was the right decision.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree that defense is really important. It helps win championships and potentially divisions. But at this point, I think anyone who's looking at the team can see what they're getting out of their shortstops outside of Jake since Xander Bogaerts went down. It's a pretty easy trade-off in my mind. If you have, a softer matchup like that against a bad team, and you can kind of risk it now, I think tonight with Nick Lodolo, the lefty on the mound for the Reds, I think you might see Iglesias back out there at short. But frankly speaking, they just haven't gotten anything offensively out of their shortstops since Xander went down. So if you're not getting any offense, if you're going to give a little bit up on defense, I think that's a trade worth taking. And to Jake's credit, he really held down the fort at shortstop yesterday, and he's still getting on base and being productive at the plate. So I think that's a pretty easy call for a guy who has played on the dirt more recently, obviously, than Jackson Merrill, and was an option to come off the bench at some points and has done that more recently at shortstop. But I think your question to Schulte about Jackson Merrill was completely fair, if you're asking for my opinion.
Sure, yeah, and the interesting thing, man, and we talked about it way earlier in the show. Lodolo is a reverse splits guy, so you could literally. I mean, it's by, I think batting average wise, it's 79 points. I mean, it's like 210. Righties hit 210 off him and lefties hit 289, and the slugging, everything is it's discernible. Like you look at it and go, okay, this isn't a couple points here and there. You very well could, if you're Mike Schilt tonight, knowing those splits, run the exact same lineup that you ran out there yesterday. And I don't think, again, there's not one person, beat writer, radio host, that's going to say, oh man, what are you doing? You had Jose Iglesias there, you had Mason McCoy there. I don't think anybody's going to do that.
Yeah, Woodsy, that's good research on your part. I didn't know that he's a reverse splits guy.
Yeah.
So shows you what I know. But I think, if that's the case, you definitely have to consider it. Putting Jake back out there at short. And I think, the Reds are, they're a decent team at this point, but everyone kind of figures they're out of it. So you really need to take care of this series. And I think if, in this case, I would almost err toward not the side of caution, but maybe the side of being a little more aggressive here and putting Jake out there. But I'm not the manager. We all know he likes to, he's pretty set in, the decisions he makes. And we'll see what happens with the lineup tonight when it comes out.
Hey, Dennis, it was nice to see Manny Machado put some good swings together. He obviously had, I think it was his worst month OPS-wise as a Padre in August. Clearly, he hasn't been 100%. I know one of the hardest things as a reporter is getting Manny to say anything about what's going on, like physically with him, but anything that you've heard just kind of about Manny, what he's been dealing with and how he is feeling now, maybe hopefully a little better heading into September?
Nothing too specific. Obviously, he's played in every single game this season, and he takes pride in posting, so to speak, and that's going to be hard to dissuade him from, continuing to go the entire way, wire to wire. Maybe a day off would do him some good at this point, but I don't expect to see it at this point. So he's just a guy who's played a lot of games, who's probably dealing with some aches and pains at age 33. It was really, I would say, concerning that he and Fernando both had exactly one home run apiece in the month of August. And now they've got, I think 2 each to start September. So that's encouraging, but you'd like to see him do it against some better teams, especially down the stretch when they're getting ready for the playoffs, they hope, against a team like the Reds. So we'll see what it looks like over the next few games. And, going back against the Rockies, this weekend when they're coming back to Petco Park, where it's harder to hit a home run, but they just need him to, if he's not going to take a day off, to really, not only post but produce. And right now we haven't seen as much of that, but if they're not going to get that, they're not going to go anywhere in, late September, October. So, last couple of games were encouraging on that front.
Dennis, really appreciate it as always. We'll chat with you again next Monday. Have a very good week.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Thanks, brother.
Hard insider, Dennis Lin from The Athletic. Always enjoy talking to Dennis. Could be, as he said, Michael King's return is as much about necessity now as whether Michael King is 100% ready. They are in desperate need of Michael King to rejoin the starting rotation.
What do you think their number is percentage-wise for a starting pitcher to get back out there? Like, do you feel 90%? All right, man, let's see what it is.
I think
is it 95?
Is it
80%?
I think of, like, as the season goes on and we get closer to the playoffs, it was 90, 95%. We're not putting you back out there until now. As we're getting closer to the end, that number dips down into the 80s. You give a 75%.
Right. I was going to say, if it's like 80% and he's like, I'm like a 70, 75, we're like, bro, it's go time. We got to figure it out.
We're getting close to, 75% is probably good enough to throw him out there and see what he can do.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. I mean, we're not going anywhere without him. Need him to get out there and do what he's capable of.
He's got to get
doing.
some reps in too.
Got to get some
October.
And not the bridge game reps. He needs some big league reps off some good hitters, and got to spin it and got to locate and all that. It's gonna we're all gonna be on pins and needles watching Michael King. Believe you me, nobody more than Mike Schilt and AJ Preller for sure. I mean, that's a guy you're counting on. That's a game one starter for you. That is your a game one starter. Nick Pavetta's probably earned that honor this year, but when Michael King is good, he is the ace of your staff, and you're missing an ace right now. You got to get your ace back, ready to go come October.
This is shocking. I was just looking at the Cincinnati Reds because thinking, okay, they're going against a fairly tough lineup. You know how many 20 home run hitters the Reds have this season?
3?
None.
0.
None.
Wow.
Ellie De La Cruz leads with 19. Spencer Steer has 17. Then they got.
I thought it was De La Cruz, Steer.
McClain and Hayes have 14. Noelvi Marte has 12. I mean, they haven't had an incredible offensive season. It's really their pitching.
Until now. Thanks a lot, man.
Well, I was surprised. I was thinking you could wait until the Rockies and give Michael King a softer landing spot, but the Rockies offense actually has more producers right now than the Reds do.
Over under 7.5 home runs this series for the Reds. I'm taking the over today.
At Petco Park?
Yeah, at Petco Park. I'll take the over.
Ellie's getting that 20th.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
Guaranteed.
Talk more about this series coming up, and we've got some tickets to give away for Wednesday's Bobblehead Day, all coming up on The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods on a Monday, and we have some Padres tickets to give away. We'll talk more about the series against the Reds that starts tonight in just a few minutes, but there was an entire weekend of college and pro football.
How disappointed were you to see Arch Manning throw 4 touchdowns? I know you were. Are you ready for the... I know you were.
Well, I didn't
wanted to see him.
I really watched
get
almost, other than some of the Aztecs game, I watched like no college football on Saturday.
Oh, you're playing golf all day.
I was playing golf, but there really weren't any. I mean, college football got off to such a good start.
Great
with
start.
Such great matchups the first week, and then it was almost nothing but
a blowout fest.
Yeah, it was all cakewalks and what do they call it when you have
cupcakes?
Cupcakes, yeah, cupcakes is what I'm the word.
How about
Ohio State
cupcake
70, Grambling nothing. Penn State 34, Florida International nothing. LSU 23, Louisiana Tech 7, Georgia 28, Austin P 6, Miami 45, Bethune-Cookman 3.
Hey, that's a big matchup.
And then the one that you thought was going to be good, Oregon, Oklahoma State. Oregon 69, Oklahoma State 3.
Save that. Texas 1.
38, San Jose State 7. I mean,
Who won Michigan, Oklahoma.
Clemson against Troy.
Oklahoma won.
That was probably the most interesting game of the weekend. Number 18, Oklahoma, over number 15, Michigan. You had a couple upsets at the back end of the top 20 with Mississippi State knocking off number 12, Arizona State, 24-20. And then the biggest one, South Florida, after beating Boise State in their opener, knocks off number 13, Florida, 18-16. That was about it. But if you weren't watching that game, then it really was kind of a disappointing. I mean, Notre Dame was off.
Yeah,
a couple big teams had buys already. Just wasn't that interesting. Bill Belichick got his first win, UNC over Charlotte, 20-3.
Kalen DeBoer wishes he could play University of Louisiana Monroe every week. They won 73-0. So they're feeling a little bit better, I guess, about Kalen DeBoer. Indiana, man, 56-9 over Kennesaw State. Yeah, it was not great for college football this weekend. There was no matchups really that blew your hair back. Everyone played their cupcake. Week 3, Ben will do the college football stink fist later in the week. Some better matchups. Still not outstanding, but some better matchups this coming weekend.
I almost wish they would just outlaw the cupcake games.
Outlaw them.
Well, I understand that everyone likes to have an easy win on their schedule, but it does nothing for fans or college football. And if everyone was just playing, a tough schedule, then you'd all be on the same playing field. And you'd lose. If you lost 2 or 3 games, you could still make the playoff.
What do you
do?
No
one wants to risk another loss.
You put the turds against the turds every week, or how does that work?
Well, I mean, at least that they would have a chance to win those games. What good does it do anyone to see 70-0 or 73-3?
I mean, I like it.
You do?
All right.
Does Notre Dame doesn't schedule that many cupcakes?
No, I mean, we've got A&M next. But if I'm Ohio State, if I'm an Ohio State fan and we're taking on Grambling and we score 70 points and give up none, I'm elated. Now, remember, I'm a Notre Dame fan. That game, Notre Dame wins by 3. They take on Grambling. They win that game, but they win by 3. Now, I'm an Irish fan. I know it's different. They don't go and blow teams out like, with 69 points and 70 points. How do you not want to see your team win a game on a Saturday? I love it. And if it's a blowout, even better. It makes me very happy. If it's my team. Now, if it's the other matchups that I'm looking at, I want something a little bit tougher and I want a little bit better game. But man, if I'm a Georgia fan, I'm excited about beating Austin P. If I'm Miami, we're now 2-0. You won by 42 points. If I'm Oregon, I love to see my guys hang up 69 points every single time. You love to see Arch Manning throwing 4 touchdowns in about 5 minutes for the Longhorns. You're stoked on it. That's college football.
And as Satan's Willfish says,
let me ask
for the other teams, they're getting paycheck
money
to come play and be.
Let me ask you this:
get beaten up basically by a much better team.
When your Aztecs basketball team, when they win by 30, do you love that game? I love that game. I love that game. I think when your baseball team wins by 12.
When they play St. Catherine and win by 50, and it doesn't matter.
I love it.
I don't.
Why? Not everything has to be,
Yeah, I like it when they beat a division conference opponent.
Sure.
The mid-December school, you're like, what state is that?
Don't you get enough close games, fellas, in your life that
it doesn't have to be close? I just want it to be an opponent.
I'm just saying a blowout. It doesn't do
worthy
anything
of being on the same court.
against
love a
against
blowout.
a school like that.
I love playing in blowouts. I love watching blowouts. If my favorite team, if the tier ones would ever score some runs and we could blow somebody out, Paulie, on a Sunday, you've never seen your old pal Woodsy happier. If we're up 13-4, I love those.
For
games.
the Aztecs basketball team last year, Kimo Ferrari was the human victory cigar.
Right.
I didn't want to see him in a whole lot of games early on, just because I'm like, all right, this is what am I doing? It's 8:30. I'm going to bed. This team, they're up by 40 against this team that looks like a JV high school team.
I love them.
I like seeing the human victory cigar in like March.
Yeah,
that means you're just cruise to a victory.
I love a blowout win if my favorite team is the one doing the blowing. Right?
The blowing out.
I mean,
I
lose interest in the second half regardless.
So
It's my team
doing the most says
winning or losing.
He says when the Padres are winning 10-1, I tune out a little. I don't. I'm Zeke with the cereal bowl. I'm lapping it up.
I mean,
want
in
more,
baseball,
more,
it's such a
more.
long season. I don't mind having a stress-free win every once in a while, but I don't know.
7-1.
There's only 12 games in the college football season, and you're using one, sometimes two, on these opponents that don't belong on the same field as your team. And to me, that's too much.
Well, is that going to start going away as more as the college football playoffs expand?
I thought it would already have started going away, but it hasn't really started going away yet. When the SEC expands to 9-game conference schedules next year, and they only have 3 non-conference games, I'm worried that it's going to. Oh, we better do 2 cupcakes because every game we play is ranked against the. I feel like it's going to get even worse. Maybe
I would love to see college football go away from it entirely because at this point, let's just call it what it is. There's 2 professional football leagues here in the United States. There's the NFL and there's Division I college football. Like these kids are getting paid a lot of money. The ratings are insane. Like college football might be the second most popular sport in America. You don't, like in the NFL, you don't make your schedule, but you couldn't possibly schedule like some D2 college team.
Why don't they? Yeah, they let the
can't
NFL
help it if you have a bad
schedule,
team.
a bad college team to start their season.
You can't help it if a team in the NFC West or whatever is just bad that year. If they're on the schedule, you got to take
taking
care
on the
of them.
Colorado School of Mines to begin their season this year. I mean, that's why the NFL still is more entertaining on a week-to-week basis. And week 1 of the NFL was really entertaining. I mean,
yeah, it really was. They did a great job.
As much as we can, say we're baseball people, they really did a nice job. The primetime games were great. Thursday night football,
elite.
Friday night from Brazil with the
Elite.
Chargers and the Chiefs, and the Sunday night game was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And did you hear Josh Allen? So the Bills are down 15, 4 minutes to go at home. The stands start to empty. And the Bills score a touchdown. They force the Derrick Henry fumble. Yep. They score another touchdown. They don't get the 2-point conversion, so they're still down 2. They force a 3-and-out with 3 timeouts. They get the ball back. They go down. They kick the game-winning field goal. Afterwards, Josh Allen goes, hey, have some faith. Next time. I saw a lot of people leaving the stands. Next time, hey, it's okay, but next time, why don't you stick around until the end of the game? And the irony, though, you've got probably the two best players in the league, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen.
Yeah.
You certainly make the argument. The 2 best players in the league. You got Derrick Henry running for 169 yards. You've got, Lamar Jackson doing everything he can early in the game. Josh Allen doing everything he can.
Both teams were like scoring at will.
The game then comes down to Matt Prater, who they show on the sidelines without his helmet. Looks like he's about 58 years old at this point. Had just been signed on Thursday.
He's 41.
He actually is one of those rare guys who looks older than 41. You got all these athletic.
Looks like a financial advisor.
Studly athletic guys who've been playing for 59 minutes and 59 seconds to decide this game. And this guy comes out just trotting on the field to decide the whole thing.
Yeah, your accountant runs out to kick the game winner.
He looks like Aussie Tony a little bit.
He does a little bit.
He just does not look like the rest of them. One of these things is not like the others on the football field. But Matt Prater, does he look 41?
He looks like he's 61 and he's telling people he's 41.
Is that a rug? It looks like a rug. Is he wearing a rug right now? Because that looks like a squirrel carcass on his head. That's a true story. You can't wear a rug if you're a.
I give them credit though, because they couldn't call a timeout. They couldn't stop the clock. They had to run in
the
kick team, with about 25 seconds to go, and there was no There was hey, you got to get this right, and you got one chance, and you snap it with 1 second left, and he kicked the field goal, and he did it. 41-year-old guy is the difference in the win, 41-40 for the Bills. And yeah, the Ravens were favored by 1. They were going to easily cover. And Paulie side, you saw like a $200,000 bet.
Yeah, I don't know if it's real or not.
It's
It's
real
just
or not,
a screenshot, but it was a Circa sports book, I think. My buddy sent it over. It was the bet slip, and $200,000 on Baltimore -1 to win 180 grand.
Lost.
I mean,
up 15 in the fourth. Just feeling
4 minutes with 4 minutes to go. Yeah.
Micah Parsons did get on the field. They were not sure if he was going to even play, and if he did, they were gonna keep him kind of reserved. I think he played 29 snaps, did get a sack, a lot of pressure, so he was pretty stoked. Of course, I picked the Lions as my team this year. They go out and drop the first
27-13, and it wasn't even that close. They guy made an unbelievable catch in garbage time to give the Lions an extra touchdown, but the Packers looked really good. Jordan Love looked really good. Who else looked good?
Aaron Rodgers looked good.
Rams did okay. My pick was the Texans. I didn't think Matt Stafford was going to be healthy, but he went out and looked pretty decent, went over 60,000 career yards, and the Rams offense didn't do a lot, but their defense looked solid in a 14-9 win. CJ Stroud was on his back most of the game, so the Rams look like they've got a defense to contend with in that game.
Bucks Falcons was a good game.
So Younghoe Koo missed a 44-yard field goal in the final minute that would have tied it. I'm sure Adam was feeling that as the Falcons fan.
Ooh, I did want to ask, Paulie, somebody asked in the chat, Christian said, you notice a big difference with the new red zone with commercials? You watched a little bit before our game yesterday.
I didn't notice a single
Didn't
difference.
notice it at all. Still felt like red zone.
Same channel, like everything was completely normal. They played, I think I saw a total of 1 minute of commercials, 15-second spots throughout the entire day.
I got in a big argument with my son on Saturday. We were having dinner, and he said, I can't believe Red Zone is adding commercials. No longer commercial free. And I go, it's 4 15-second commercials, split screen over the course of 7 hours. I think you're going to be okay.
Yeah, you'll live.
And he goes, it's the principle of it. You know, you're paying for Red Zone, you're paying extra, you shouldn't have to watch commercials. And I go,
tell me, you're not paying anything.
So I get back.
You're not paying for it.
I get back from my
hole.
golf, and he's watching it in the afternoon, and I go, you make it through those commercials? And he goes, I missed.
Didn't even notice.
I didn't even notice any of the commercials that came in. But he goes, but they're only going to add more now that they've done 4 of them. You know they're going to start adding more commercials once people are used to it.
Can you imagine him and his minivan in their sports debates?
I
can't even wrap my head. Both of them are, well, actually, I mean, holy. Can you run audio of one of your I would like to hear it. I would like to hear
what you're thinking it is, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then Bengals Browns 17-16 game, and their kicker failed as well. The new Cleveland kicker. I don't know how you say his name. It's Andrew Schmidt, but it's spelled Szmyt. No vowels. Missed an extra point and Sismit missed an extra point and a field goal, or the Browns could have upset the Bengals in the first week of the season. They're probably kicking themselves.
All right, you got a game tonight. You got the Bears against the Vikings. Okay.
See if one more good primetime game, and you'll completely have aced the opening week of the season if you're the NFL.
You really nailed it. And that's enough football talk. I'm getting uncomfortable.
Well, we probably have a little bit more in the Reindl Report,
which is fine. That's where it belongs.
Later in the hour, we'll also have some Padres tickets to give away in our next segment. If you've been listening, have a question for you from earlier in the program. Opportunity to win tickets to Wednesday night's game against the Cincinnati Reds. It's the bobblehead, Dylan Cease no-hitter bobblehead night. Get to that, and we'll look ahead to the series and the matchups as well. All coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
I know it's Monday morning. You're probably not thinking necessarily about going to a card room, but you could.
What if it's your Friday?
It could be your Friday.
Could be your Friday.
I always point that out. Not everybody has the same schedule.
That's right.
Not everybody's Monday to Friday. Not everybody's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a great place if you're coming off a night shift, an overnight shift. You can go by for a meal, some cards, unwind, and then head back home at 9 a.m. and go to sleep. Whatever you do, 24/7 is what it's all about at 7 Mile Casino.
Yeah, they'll take good care of you once you set foot in the door. You'll run smack dab into the California-style blackjack table. And if you look off to your right, you'll see the Texas Hold'em room. And whatever your heart fancies, they'll take care of you there. Smoke-free environment as well. No slot machines, though. So if you like the clanging, the incessant noise of a slot machine, you're not going to find it at 7 Mile.
September is an awfully good month to enjoy the patio at 7 Mile Casino right there on San Diego Bay, on the water. Have some great food and just enjoy yourself. Bring some friends. Check it out this week at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
right, Padres in a stretch of no days off this week. Got 3 against the Reds, 4 against the Rockies at Petco Park, starting tonight at 6:40 with Nick Lodolo on the mound against Yu Darvish. Padres could really use a good Yu Darvish start. We've had some hits and misses since he came back.
Need you, baby.
You'd use a nice, 7 innings from Yu Darvish, solid tonight would be just what the doctor ordered as the Padres go for a 3rd win in a row. Again, they have to win the series against the Reds to claim the tiebreaker against them this season.
Question for you. You're the skipper tonight. Short leash. Yes?
For you?
No, not me. For Yu Darvish.
Right.
What do you do? So knowing you have a whole week of games. When's the next off day? Next Monday?
Monday. Week from today.
I mean, you're grinded, man.
That's why I feel like you can't have the shortest of leashes because you got a lot of games coming up.
If he walks the first hitter, you're not going to the bullpen. You know what I mean? But if he gives up 3 runs in 3 innings.
Now, here's the question. Is that a collaborative conversation where you tell you, like, hey, we're looking for 4 strong innings. Give us everything you got for 4?
I don't know. I think the formula, and Mike Schultz said this yesterday again.
You got to win these games.
The formula is 6 innings from your starter. And then you can alternate between your higher leverage guys. Yesterday, it was Morejon and Morgan. Today you've got Estrada, Miller, and Suarez probably all available.
Yep.
And, in a perfect world, you get 6 from your starter. And then every other day, you've got different high leverage relievers to go to.
Yes, in a perfect world.
And you can win every single game that way. That's the formula. Once you get off that formula, and the Padres got off of it far too often over the last couple of weeks when they only got 3-4 innings from their starters, and then you're going into Yuki, Wandy, Kyle Hart territory, and it's much more difficult. When you get a lead and you can get your starter through 6 and you have a lead to protect, Padres are one of the best teams in baseball. But that formula has just been too infrequent over the last 3 weeks. But the last 2 days executed it almost perfectly. They just didn't get the lead on Friday, but they got the good pitching performance. Usually you'd say 3 runs in Coors Field. You take that every single time. Unfortunately, they didn't hit on Friday, but the last 2 days it worked perfectly.
I think about what we all talked about with Craig Elsten a couple of hours ago this morning. He laid it out pretty simplistic form of we've seen it now. The offense first lineup, start there. And then make your defensive substitutions, move guys around later in the game. But it's so important
to get
out to the lead early rather than having to chase from behind every time.
No doubt. There's no doubt about it, man. If I'm Schilt, and I'm not, I'm running the exact same lineup that I ran out yesterday. The exact same. I may mess with the order a touch, but I'm running the exact same guys. I'm putting Sheets in, I'm putting Merrill in, I'm putting O'Hearn in. I'm putting Arise at second. I'm putting Jake. I mean, it's lefty heavy against the lefty Lodolo, but he's a reverse splits guy, as I mentioned earlier. I'm going to take my chances, man. I want my best guys there.
My prediction is, despite the reverse splits, you'll see.
Oh, I know.
You'll see Jose Iglesias at short.
Correct.
And I think the guy who's going to get a day off, just because he's looked a little.
O'Hearn.
He's probably O'Hearn.
Yeah. Luis.
And Arise will be first. Sheets will be your DH. And you'll have your outfield of Laureano, Merrill, and Tatis. Would be my guess. That's just my speculation.
That's my I'm with you. I don't think that's a crazy take at all.
And then you've got O'Hearn coming off the bench for a matchup that you like later in the game.
Absolutely. It starts with you getting a clean first inning, and giving the boys a chance to go up and get a lead. So will be interesting to see how they handle it. And if it's a typical, well, it has been typical to this point with Yu Darvish. If it's not going well, Ben, you just throw Kyle Hart out there to just chug innings.
You've been getting swing and miss from you. Strikeouts 7, 5, 6, 5, 5, 6. It's not that he doesn't have stuff that is effective.
It's just not the puzzle. The puzzle pieces aren't fitting in the Yu Darvish puzzle yet.
Very inconsistent.
Weird pitch selections, on pitch in pitchers counts, giving up so many two strike hits, things like that. It's just not him, man. He's better than that. He's still kind of tinkering. So this is a lineup, Ben, I think you can go after if you're Yu Darvish. And so it's just imperative to
I
hang
think
zeros.
Tomorrow will be interesting because you got a right-hander, Zach Littell, is starting tomorrow. Do you go back with Jake at shortstop?
Yes.
He's been giving up some runs lately, gave up 5 to the Blue Jays. Really good offense, but his last time out. Is that the day where you use Jake in that game? We'll still don't know who the Padres are starting tomorrow. It's TBD. Could be Michael King. Could be a bullpen day. Could be JP Sears called back up again. I think there are a number of different options in play for that game. And then on Wednesday, 5:40 start, it's going to be Andrew Abbott, who, if my memory serves, always shoves against the Padres.
I'm going to look it up because I feel the same thing.
But Nick Pivetta, again, going for the Padres. So you figure probably a low-scoring pitchers type dual game on Dylan Cease bobblehead night.
Yeah, he's 1-0 with a .92 and
sounds about right.
18 Ks in 3 appearances against the San Diego Padres, going back to 23. Gets them about once a year. Yeah, I mean, he went 5, gave up 7 hits, punched out 4 in his last start in June, Ben. So, yeah. Is he a lefty?
Andrew Abbott, I feel like is a righty, but don't bet the farm on it.
Andrew Abbott is a left-handed pitcher.
He is a lefty.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 8-6 with a 2.88. So, yeah, maybe their best pitcher right now. Well, I mean, again, you got your work cut out for you, man. This is it.
You're missing Hunter Green, who pitched yesterday.
Yep.
You know, he's a hard thrower. Yeah, Abbott's good. 8-6, 2.88. Yeah, he's solid. So if you'd like to attend that game, we've got tickets to give away right now. And here's how you're going to win them. Want to give them to a tier 1 who's been listening through the show. So which country music artist appeared in Don't Do This morning?
All right, it's really figured out, guys. It's one of 2. All right, take a shot.
833-288-0973. Call in with the correct answer. Paulie's got the phone lines open. 833-288-0973. Name that country music artist. You will win a pair of tickets for Wednesday's game. It's the Dylan Cease no-hitter bobblehead. First 40,000 fans in attendance going to pick it up. You can celebrate history with the bobblehead presented by State Farm on Wednesday. 5:40 first pitch for that game, just an hour earlier than usual. Gates open 90 minutes early. For more information, you can go to Padres.com/giveaways. Good luck. We will come back with the Reindl Report in our final segment. Paulie, what do you have for us?
We got one more note from the NFL that we did not get to. We wanted to play some audio. Aaron Rodgers.
We did not talk about that game.
Boy, the pettiness level is pretty good.
That's coming up next here with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, if you're going to be watching football tonight, why not do it with a Prize Picks lineup? Set players from either team, Minnesota or Chicago, in your lineup tonight. Hey, combine them with players from the baseball game you're watching tonight from Petco Park. You can do that. It's all against the numbers. You're just picking more or less on lineups between 2 and 6 players and winning real money. Make that sports knowledge, all that sports you watch on TV, make it work for you with some real cash and daily fantasy from Prize Picks. It's easy to download and start playing. All you have to do is go to prizepicks.com, download the app, and when you do, use code KWFN to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's $50 in free lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. So make your first deposit. It's easy to do with Venmo or Apple Pay or MasterCard. It's easy to withdraw money as well when you win. Happens very quickly. I've done it many times in the past. Millions of users, billions of dollars in awarded winnings with Prize Picks and the official fantasy sports partner of your San Diego Padres. Get together and do it today with your friends. Do it by yourself, whatever you want to do. It's Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Now, I know you didn't have a ton of time this weekend for football watching. My guess is that also extended to the tennis this weekend in New York.
I didn't have much time for anything other than some family memory-making experiences. And I don't regret any of it.
No, and you shouldn't. Did have a couple good finals, though, this weekend. Number one, Aryna Sabalenka defeated American Amanda Anisimova to defend her U.S. Open women's singles titles. And then you had probably the two best players on the men's side meeting yesterday in the final. And this time it was Carlos Alcaraz who beat Jannik Sinner in 4 sets to win his second U.S. Open and 6th Grand Slam title yesterday at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York.
Wow. Big one. Did you watch any of it?
I did not watch a ton of tennis. I watched a little bit of the men's final yesterday. That was about it.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough tennis talk for this morning.
Talk. I mean,
Let's check traffic, and then Paulie will get to the Reindl Report. We'll talk some Aztecs.
All the forehands, the backhands,
and more.
Serves.
And then, with some lobs and some volleys as well, for sure.
Pretty sick ace.
Ace or two.
A few of them, actually. All right, Reindl Report coming up after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Seems most of our problems have been in the North County this morning, guys. We still have this crash on the Harbor Drive off-ramp, South 5 coastline. And eastbound 78, right before Sycamore, there is a collision involving a couple vehicles. Everything's over the right shoulder. Rollover crash, northbound 15 before Falicita. That's got the 2 right lanes blocked. Elsewhere around the county, eastbound 8, right around Waring Road, there is a crash involving a couple vehicles. Looks like that is mostly over the right shoulder. Tow truck on scene assisting with that. And got a stalled bus blocking the HOV lane northbound 805 right before the King Freeway. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. By the way, we did give away the tickets, right?
All right.
Who won our tickets? It was Morgan Wallen was the answer.
All right.
By the way, to the question.
All right.
All right.
All right.
You have to. All right.
All right.
All right.
yes, we had to get through a few different callers that were not listening during Don't Do This. They did not know that Morgan Wallen was the country artist that was featured. Don't Do This for
flipping
viciously attacking Jose Batista's wife with a baseball bat.
Threw a bat at her.
Accidentally, but still fairly
And
vicious.
Rio knew the answer and is going to the game on Wednesday night.
Nice.
All right, let's get started here. One note in college football. We'll go locally here. San Diego State coming off their big win over Stony Brook last week, taking on the Washington State Cougars up in Pullman. Didn't go so well. We talked about that game a little bit on Friday. I personally was a little bit surprised that the line was only like 1.5 points.
Yeah, they were buying into the Aztecs.
Cougars were
Aztec
favored,
fast.
barely favored in that one. And I think my suggestion was, or my guess was 16.5 maybe. And you're like, no, 1.5.
Should have teased it up a little bit. You could have made some big money.
Cougars won 36-13. I personally did not watch 1 second of it. And I know Woods probably wasn't following on his phone from the Oasis concert. Ben, did you watch any of this game?
I watched the whole game, actually. I did fall asleep a little bit at the end. But first half, things were going well. Jaden Denegal threw a 4th and 5 touchdown pass from like midfield on the first drive. Aztecs are up 7-0. And I'm going, okay.
We've
Sean Lewis has
arrived.
turned this thing around. This offense looks for real. And then they really couldn't do anything the rest of the half. Now, it was going to be a close game. It was like 10-7 Washington State when the final minute of the half. And they had just punted to San Diego State. So you're looking like, okay, maybe go down and take the lead or at least tie it up with a field goal. Denegal takes a safety. Now it's 12-7. And then you have to punt away. And like 3 plays later, Washington State scores. So instead of being down 3, you're down 12. And then Washington State gets the ball to start the second half and goes down to score a touchdown. So what was a 3-point game, like in the snap of a finger, is now 26-7, and you're toast. The game's pretty much over at that point. I think the most disappointing thing was, remember I told you the stat of the game last week. Washington State was held to 3 yards total rushing by Idaho. So, okay, San Diego State looked really good defensively in their first game. They can do the same thing. 145 yards rushing for Washington State in game 2. They fixed things. San Diego State got worse. And now the question marks are right back. Is this going to be 2 and done for Sean Lewis? Can he get the team to a bowl game? We'll find out more. They have a week off, and then they host Cal a week from Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. I thought if the Aztecs had won yesterday, probably, okay, maybe a big crowd, believing in this team. Now they're going to be skeptical still until they can beat an actual Division I FBS opponent.
Yeah, Cal has scored almost 70 points in their first 2 games against Texas Southern and Oregon State.
Oregon State's not good either, but that's concerning. I will say, good job by the USD Toreros. They beat a ranked opponent in overtime on Saturday. They beat Southern Utah 30-27, blew a 14-point lead in the last 2 minutes, but then won on a walk-off touchdown in overtime 30-27. So congratulations to Brandon Moore, probably his biggest win as Torero's head coach.
All right, we'll switch over to the NFL. Talked a little bit of NFL football earlier in the 9 o'clock hour here, but we didn't give a whole lot of attention to, I thought one of the better games of the weekend was definitely Pittsburgh and the Jets. And I actually had to remind myself, and I don't hope I'm not the only one, I'm watching Red Zone yesterday from 10 to about 11:30, and I'm going, oh, yeah, Russell Wilson's a quarterback for the Giants.
Yeah, the New York Football Giants.
Okay. Oh, DK Metcalf is a Steeler as well. Aaron Rodgers looked weird in the black and gold.
Deebo Samuel looks really good with the Commanders now.
Jeez, man. Yeah, a lot of moving parts. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is now quarterbacking for the Steelers, and Justin Fields is quarterbacking for the Jets, and it was a pretty good game. Steelers won 34-32. This game was back and forth, and what everybody was talking about, though, were Aaron Rodgers' comments after the game about sticking it to his former team if that feels any better than any other particular win, and here's what he had to say.
You spoke about the meeting with Aaron Glenn on McAfee a few months ago. Beating him, is there significance in that, since he basically told you to your face that he didn't think you were right for that team?
Yes, that's what he did.
So there's significance in beating him?
Yes. I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets.
I loved it.
So good.
I mean, yeah, he got let go. Of course he's going to be happy to beat the Jets. I don't necessarily think that means Aaron Glenn is wrong. Justin Fields looked pretty solid.
Really good,
the Jets
man.
played pretty well.
If you told the Jets fans you're going to hang 32 on Pittsburgh, how do you like your chances? They all would have been
pretty
good.
happy with that. So I don't know, kind of a positive step forward for both teams, perhaps in that game. But the Steelers do end up getting the win, and Aaron Rodgers now 1-0 as Steelers quarterback.
All right, we'll move on, wrap it up here. I think this could be some news everybody can use if you use rideshare services like Uber. Uber is testing out a new payment method, and this one's going to blow your mind.
Wow.
It's not Bitcoin or anything like that.
Right.
Meme coin. Of course, they're still going to accept all major credit cards.
My Hawk Tua coin.
I don't think they're going to accept that one
Uber
yet.
with my Hawk Tua. Because it's just sitting there. And
Odyssey points? Can I get an Uber with Odyssey points now?
I have all this Hawk Tua coin, and no one wants it, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it now.
Uber is testing out their newest payment method of cash.
Whoa.
Cash. How do you stuff it into your phone, or what do you do? Is there like a
You got to get the
slot?
new iPhone. It's got a money, it's like you're at a slot machine. You slide the dollar
Do they
bill in.
have like a cash box? Because that doesn't seem very safe.
So Uber has
Cash.
started.
Cash.
Yeah. Now, just like any other cab, kind of, but Uber has not been able to use cash. It's only been credit cards, and they have just been starting to roll it out there. And it's actually hit some bigger markets like San Diego is one of the test markets, Los Angeles, Dallas, and Orlando. They tried it a couple of weeks back in some smaller markets, and they said they're just trying to expand, accept anything, any type of payment. Yes, exactly. So what you do is you still need your cell phone. You still need to have the Uber app.
Okay.
You still need to book it like any other particular Uber.
But you can just click.
When you book the ride, you can select cash option as your payment. Then you give the driver your cash at the end of your ride. You can also, if you're the driver, you can say, I'm not taking any cash passengers, card only. So it's up to you.
Okay.
Because I guess you do run the risk like any cab driver did for the history of cabs.
The
like
running
oh yeah, it'll be like you're thinking, oh, it's going to be $30, and then you get there and you're like, sorry, dude, I don't have any money. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What does the cab driver do?
Yeah.
You're already there.
What's next? Instead of booking the ride on your phone, you just wave them down on the side of the road, and then you pay them with cash.
You hail an Uber.
You hail an Uber. Like, Uber.
Can
right
I say
here.
this? When I flew back from Texas on my last excursion to go see my family, landed at the airport, extremely long travel day, and I walked outside, and my wife and kids were at home. I landed at about 5:30, and I said, I'll grab a cab or an Uber. I walked out. The ride share line, which is the Uber and Lyft, was 700 deep.
Yeah.
Then I looked to my left, and there were 9 cabs sitting there, no one in line. And I went, I want to see my family. I miss my family. My wife is leaving at 6 a.m. I haven't seen her in a week. So I got in a cab. And we get in, and he clicks the meter, and I'm
San Diego Airport to Encinitas.
And you forget how
Quickly it
that
just
SOB
starts
goes. And
riding
you're
up,
looking, and we get to about Del Mar, and it hits triple digits.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay.
And I'm like,
I was gonna ask Ben. I was gonna set the over under at $90.
Oh, over. And
Just a ride to Encinitas.
But here's the best part. Yes, a ride. And it hits triple digits at like Del Mar Heights Road. And I've got
probably a $50 Uber, $60 Uber.
I've got 5 more exits, right? And I'm watching it, and it's just
keeps going.
Tick. Then there's some special number off to the right, which is like extra fee.
Like the airport pickup.
Yeah. It's like an extra
and,
$9 or something.
Yeah.
We pull up. Here's the worst part. When I reach in my wallet to hand him the card, it was a discernible like, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. It's 2025. Is this a hassle for you? Since you just charged me all in like $160 to come from the airport. Am I bothering you, sir, by using my credit card here, my debit card? Is that a bug? And then I'm sitting there going, how much do you get off of this? I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea what his
to the cab company
what his
versus
split
what
is.
his take is.
But the look of the eye roll of like, How dare this guy in the year 2025 pull out a debit card to pay for this? And
you weren't carrying just massive
wads of cash
to pay your cabbie.
And I just go, hey, man, this is all I got. I had cash on me, but I wasn't giving to him. Well, I wanted him. I knew the eye roll was coming. I gave it to him, and he ran it. And he's like, yeah, put in the tip. I was like, okay. So all in with tip was like $160. I mean, does that make you sick to your stomach, Ben?
Yeah. A little bit. Crying inside.
You would have rather hitchhiked home from the airport, I think, than that.
He would have got off in La Jolla and just be like,
What was
figure it out from here.
I'll walk in.
What was
from here.
What was the level of like cleanliness?
It was awful. It was
Not good.
Horrendous. Horrendous.
What sort of seats was it?
Awful. It was a bad
cab
car.
seats. Just
no. This was a
smell.
Ben, this was like a Prius that was.
Was it yellow even?
No.
Wasn't even yellow.
No. Tony says you should have taken the coaster. Tony, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Did it have like an
coaster.
advertising thing on the top at least?
It had like a thing on the top. Yeah. Okay. But it was a dump. It stunk. But I wanted to get home, and I was going to pay for the convenience of getting home. But the differences in rates.
Do you have any literature in the mesh back of the seat for you at least?
The differences in rates was staggering. And I gave this guy this look. But
no wonder the line for the Uber and Lyfts are so long.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this, and you know this, you're a bit better travelers than I am. Maybe not more seasoned, but I travel more than anyone I know. When do I hit that ride share button? Like when we land, or when I get my bag?
I do it when I got my bag off of the carousel and I'm walking over to, and I know I know I'm not far.
But there's 70 people there.
Well, you if you can look and see how busy the airport is, you add a little time in your mind. But generally, when I see my bag like getting onto the carousel, then I can hit it. Now they have like some geotagging now that like prevents you from booking it too early. Like they won't let you do it while you're still sitting on your plane in a lot of cases until you get closer to the baggage claim and the exit to the airport.
Hex is walking out of the airplane. Okay, I'm going to try that next time.
Like
George says, you could have gotten a car rental cheaper. Yes, I'm going to rent a car to drive home. Then I'm going to bring it back to the airport tomorrow. It actually would have been cheaper to rent a little car.
It would have been.
It would have been cheaper.
But then you would have had to take it back and gotten an Uber or Lyft
home. Hey, babe, I know you're leaving for Kauai in the morning. I'll drive you to the airport and then I'll take an Uber back. It was a nightmare.
Just ask me. I drive down there almost every day.
I'm not going to make you. Well, I didn't want to make you pick me up at 6:00 on a Friday.
Yeah,
to drive me back to Encinitas. So, but it really the price sucked, obviously. But he was so mad that I wasn't paying him in cash
for a C note. You'd have saved $60 and you would have had the happiest Ben on earth.
You would have made me pay you $100.
No, I would have saved you $60.
Yes, true. That's fair. But yeah, Ben would have been like, just let me out here at Del Mar. From the races, I'll just walk it home. Because once it hit that hundo, man, you go, whew, okay, this is an expensive
It feels
ride.
like a game you're losing badly.
Yeah, you can't win. It's like when it's your
and
pitcher.
Then when you get
your
off here
pitcher
at the
keeps
red
giving
light
up hits.
and it still goes up.
We're
not moving. We're not moving. This should not be going up. Wait time.
I should have taken a video.
It's a red light.
It was like 89. 94, 97, 100. And you're just like, we barely moved. It was awful. It was
I can do this whole ride for about $8 in gas if I have my own car.
It was excruciating. It was an excruciating ride. But, well, now I know I should just take cash with me. Cash is king. And I can even get an Uber with cash. Thank you, Paulie. That is news I can use.
Yeah. The drivers are the ones that are the most upset.
Yeah.
It kind of potentially serves as a safety concern.
Yeah, of course.
People think that they know that they're holding cash now.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Good stuff.
All right, that's it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 6. Talk Padres Reds from tonight and more. Braden is up next for executive producer Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Monday from all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.